Part 160. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 1592. Zhang Chen returned home, fell on the bed and fell asleep. Although he felt very hungry in his dreams when he fell asleep and looked for food everywhere, he just couldn't open his eyes. Later, he fell into a deep sleep and fell asleep. I don't even feel hungry anymore, I don't even have dreams anymore. When Zhang Chen woke up, it was already past 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He took his mobile phone and looked at it. There were 5 missed calls, 2 from Ji Ling, 1 from Lu Qing, 1 from Zhao Xian, and 1 from the second-rate wife Xiajun's. Xiajun and Erhuo rarely called themselves. If they did, there must be something important, so Zhang Chen hurried back. As soon as the phone call came through, Zhang Chen heard the noise on the phone. Then, Xiajun probably took the phone and walked outside. The noise was a little weak, and Xiajun said in a lower voice. "Hello, instructor." "Hello, Xiajun, why are you so noisy and what are you doing?" Zhang Chen asked. "I just don't know. All these people came to the house to make noise. I was afraid that something would happen, so I called you," Xiajun said. Zhang Chen was taken aback and asked quickly, "Who made the noise at home?" "They rented our warehouse. The second-hand dealer wanted to take the warehouse back and asked them to move it. They refused to move. They also said that the contract had not expired and that we had breached the contract. They started arguing. They have been arguing for 2 days." Xiajun said. "Xiajun, please let the second-rate guy answer the phone." Xiajun hesitated, and she said, "Instructor, I'm calling you." "The idiot doesn't know. If the idiot knows, he will scold me. He will say that you are very busy. I will return it. I will force you to do even the smallest thing. I'm raising myself to bother you." Zhang Chen almost laughed. He knew that Xiajun, the forced one, was learning from second-rate students. Zhang Chen said. "Well, Xiajun, I was going to come to Songjiang tomorrow, so you can just persuade them not to fight." They will definitely not dare to take action. We have so many stevedores here, and they all listen to the idiots. If there is a fight, the people who rent the warehouse will definitely suffer. I am afraid that the idiots will take action." "Okay, then you should persuade the idiot so that he can't do anything. We'll talk about other things when I arrive tomorrow," Zhang Chen told Xiajun. "Okay, instructor, I understand." After hanging up Xiajun's call, Zhang Chen called Ji Ling first. Ji Ling called him twice. The matter must be urgent. Zhang Chen called the phone and asked Ji Ling what was going on. Ji Ling said, "Next week, aren't we going to provide Jessica and the others with a batch of design samples? Today, their design drafts have come out, and I want Master to take a look. Give your opinion." Zhang Chen said, "Yes, I will come right away." After hanging up Ji Ling's phone, Zhang Chen dialed Lu Qing again. As soon as the call came through, Lu Qing asked, "Are you awake?" "Yeah, I just woke up. The plan has been submitted, and the superiors think it is very good, but it needs to be adjusted," Lu Qing said. "I am in the oil painting gallery, when will you come over?" Zhang Chen said, "Yes, I have something to do in my company. I will pick you up from the oil painting studio later and we will go to my company's office to talk." Lu Qing said, "Okay, then I'll wait for you." "Oh, you don't have to come over. Zhao Xian said she would send me there." Zhang Chen said yes. Lu Qing and Zhao Xian were together, and Zhao Xian called him, probably for the same thing, so there was no need to return Zhao Xian's call. Zhang Chen quickly got up, took a quick shower, and rushed to the company. Zhang Chen went upstairs and went to the design center first. As soon as he walked in, Ji Ling saw him. She stood up and made an OK gesture to him through the glass partition. Zhang Chen withdrew and walked to his office. As soon as he sat down, Ji Ling came in, holding a folder in her hand. Ji Ling handed the folder to Zhang Chen, and Zhang Chen opened it. Inside were design drafts of Christmas gifts and stationery designed by several newly recruited designers. Zhang Chen picked up the pen and revised them one by one. While making changes, I told Ji Ling that you will take it back later and ask them to clearly understand the materials used and the approximate cost price. The design is not aimless. No matter how good the product you design is, it will be the same if the cost is very high. It is a substandard design. Whether it is Christmas gifts or stationery, they are all consumables, not luxury goods. Price determines sales. Ji Ling said yes, I don't know much about this either. Zhao Xian and Lu Qing walked in from outside the door. Zhang Chen saw it, and he told Ji Ling, let me put this here for now. I will finish reading it later and then go over and hold a meeting with them. Ji Ling said yes. Lu Qing looked at Zhang Chen and asked, you are moving so fast. Have you had lunch? When Lu Qing asked, Zhang Chen remembered, and he said no, I didn't even eat breakfast. Master, should I go to the canteen below and ask them to cook it for you? There should be someone on duty now. Ji Ling heard this and turned around to talk to Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen said okay, just bring me a bowl of noodles. Make it more spicy, Ji Ling asked. Zhang Chen nodded. Zhang Chen walked over to the sofa and sat down. Zhao Xian made a cup of coffee for Lu Qing. He picked up the teacup on Zhang Chen's desk and saw that it still contained yesterday's tea. Zhao Xian took the cup into the bathroom, washed it and came back. Zhang made a cup of tea. Lu Qing and Zhang Chen said, I submitted your topic selection plan this morning. They are very interested in it, but they made some suggestions. What suggestions? Zhang Chen asked. Painting still retains its original style, with one painting and one story per episode. The broadcast time can be changed. Instead of 2 episodes a week, it can be changed to 1 episode a week. The scope can be expanded and gradually transferred abroad. Regarding famous paintings by famous artists, we were also asked to submit a topic selection plan first, and next year we will consider going abroad to select exterior scenes, and also go to art museums around the world, Lu Qing said. So, isn't the project very big? Zhang Chen said. Yes, so you still need to apply for a topic. Moreover, it is best to apply for 8 months to a year. In this way, if you go out once or twice a year, you can visit all the art museums that need to be visited and collect all the materials first. Collect it? That's okay, Zhang Chen said. The Louvre in Paris and the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York alone are enough for a year. I don't think so. I think those small art museums in Europe may be more unique. Of course you should go to the Louvre and the Metropolitan Museum of Art, but we can't do things that everyone is too familiar with, such as Montgomery, Nalisa and Raphael and Rodin. There is no need to consider it, we still have to make something cooler but with a strong story, Lu Qing said. Zhang Chen nodded and said, we can also take advantage of your station. After all, you are CCTV. You are also a rare visitor to the Louvre and the Metropolitan Museum. We can see ordinary visitors watching them. Something that is not available before is also something new to everyone. By the way, I came up with an idea. The Louvre and the Metropolitan Museum, as well as the British Museum in London, all have many famous paintings from ancient China. Since it is painting theory and we want to expand the scope, why should we? You can't do a series to introduce famous Chinese paintings in world-renowned museums, which everyone should be interested in. That's okay, Lu Qing said excitedly, why do you come up with good ideas just by talking? He often does this, and he needs to be stimulated, Zhao Xian said. Zhang Chen smiled and said, my brain is probably in a dormant state usually. Okay, then I will stimulate you often. This is a good idea. Then I can ask the External Relations Department in Taishung to contact these museums first, Lu Qing said. Zhang Chen said yes. Also, Huashuo has been changed to 1 episode a week. The time allocated can be used to create a new program. This is what you wrote in the topic selection plan. The department has already thought of the title of the program, and it is called One Person's History of Oil Painting, which emphasizes personal opinions and perspectives, is also 1 episode per week, but the program is 22 minutes long. Then we will tell one story in 1 episode, instead of the 5 or 6 episodes in a series as we originally thought. No one is interested, and we will listen to one story in 5 or 6 weeks, Zhang Chen said. Yes, the ministry also requested it. You will write the script, and you will also do the dubbing and narration, Lu Qing said with a smile. Ah, Zhang Chen was shocked. I can't speak Mandarin well, how can this be done? It's not bad, Lu Qing said with a smile, it's just that the southern accent is a bit stronger, but that doesn't matter. Isn't it a man's history of oil painting? What you need is your personal point of view and perspective, and there are subtitles. Are you afraid? What? You can give lectures on more than 20 episodes of 100 schools of lectures. What's the point? You also appeared in the story of paintings. The response was also very good, wasn't it? Zhang Chen said, this will be very stressful. When you are under pressure, you are motivated, Lu Qing said. By the way, what are your plans these days? What? Zhang Chen asked. I'll keep an eye on you and stimulate you. Maybe I'll get more good ideas, Lu Qing said with a smile. I want to seize all your free time and discuss the program with you without affecting your work. I'm going to Shanghai on a business trip tomorrow, are you keeping an eye on me? Zhang Chen said with a smile. I'm going to Sanya next, are you keeping an eye on me too? That's right, I'll be keeping an eye on you until the show is finished, Lu Qing said. I can be your backup. If you need any information, I will find it and send it to you, Zhao Xian said. Are you two on good terms? Zhang Chen looked at the two of them and asked. Both of them laughed, and Zhao Xian said. Didn't I tell you a long time ago that this is good for our oil painting museum? Moreover, if you go out next year, I can also join you. In this way, our museum will not only establish relationships with domestic ones, but also with foreign ones. Connect. Zhang Chen quickly waved his hand. Okay, I accept you, you are a better calculator than me. Zhao Xian smiled and said meaningfully, this is our unanimous opinion. Who do you agree with? Zhang Chen asked doubtfully. Zhao Jingjing, Kioxin, Xili, Ji Ling. Okay, stop it, I know your plan. Zhang Chen said that he knew they must be thinking that by filling up their time and being busy, they would have no time to go out and talk nonsense. However, Zhang Chen remembered that if he went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art to shoot, he could go to New York for a while. That would be great, and he could go and see Zhang Xiangbei. Okay, again, I'll do my best, Zhang Chen and Lu Qing said. Lu Qing said yes, then I will keep an eye on you from now on. You're really staring. Why are you staring at me? Zhang Chen said, didn't you say that you came back this time to accompany your mother? Do you believe this? Lu Qing asked, who didn't say they would spend time with their parents, but then they went off to do their own thing after meeting them once. How long can you really spend with them? That's right, Zhao Xian said, when we say we eat with our parents, the result is that it will be the fastest meal for us. Lu Qing and Zhang Chen laughed, and it seemed that they also understood it deeply. Thank you to the Evergreen Emperor Yan and book friend 20120410153124786 for the reward of 2 fishes at one end and 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. Thank you to the Evergreen Emperor Yan, Fang L, No Penetration, Bandits also read books, The Toad Dreaming of Flying, Not Common, and How, Happy Lu Hong, Salted Fish Sewer, Qian Qian Dad, book friend 20170717172328398, Robber, Hurricane 0669, book the monthly ticket of friend 201711121083237166. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1593. The next morning, when Zhang Chen went upstairs to the dynamic zone, Lu Qing was already waiting for him at Ji Ling's place. When Zhang Chen saw her, he smiled and said, "Are you really staring at me?" "Of course," Lu Qing said. "Do you really want to go to Shanghai with me?" "Do you think I'm joking with you?" Lu Qing asked. "Okay, let's stop by the Tishanwan painting gallery this time," Zhang Chen said. "Ah, the Tishanwan painting gallery you mentioned is still there?" Lu Qing was surprised and asked. Zhang Chen said, "No more, but now at the original site, the Sui district government built a Tishanbei Museum. It just opened during the World Expo in June this year. There are many cultural relics from that year. The most important thing is that there are an archway." "An archway?" Lu Qing asked puzzledly. "Yes, the boxwood archway. The Tishanwan Painting Gallery later developed into the Tishanwan Craft Society. It not only has paintings, but also boxwood carvings and book printing. This archway was carved by orphans. It is 5 meters tall. Duogao, said to be quite exquisitely made, was shipped from Shanghai to San Francisco to participate in the Panama World Exposition in 1914, setting off a wave of China craze at the time. At the end of 1915, this archway was collected by the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago, USA, and subsequently participated in international expositions held in other parts of the United States in 1933 and 1939. After wandering around for many years, the archway was purchased by a European collector in 1985 and transported to Sweden. It returned to Shanghai from Sweden in June last year. At that time, the archway was already incomplete. A wood carving company in Dongyang was responsible for repairing it free of charge. It took half a year to complete the task, and when the museum opens this year, it will be officially put on display. "Okay, let's go then." Lu Qing got excited by Zhang Chen's words and shouted. "However, let me explain to you first, I still have company matters to deal with," Zhang Chen said with a smile. Yeah, I know, I'll just follow you," Lu Qing said. "Didn't I say that we will discuss the program while you are at work?" Zhang Chen called Xiao Wu, and they immediately set off for Shanghai. Zhang Chen told Xiao Wu that they would go to the second-hand shop first. They walked on the road for more than an hour. Zhang Chen and Lu Qing talked a lot about the topic of painting theory. As for one person's history of oil painting, Zhang Chen said that this is relatively simple. First, the timeline of the entire history of oil painting, list it down, and then look at the important events at each node, and just focus on these important events. The key is the angle of entry, the collection of materials, especially the exploration of the details. As long as there are enough details, the program will stand up. As Zhang Chen spoke, Lu Qing laughed and said, "It seems you are quite knowledgeable. Isn't this the same as painting? A good painter will pay special attention to the details." Zhang Chen took out a few pages of paper from his bag and handed them to Lu Qing. Lu Qing was overjoyed to see that Zhang Chen had roughly written out the timeline of the entire history of Chinese oil painting, including the major events during the period. I also pointed it out in 1 or 2 sentences. Zhang Chen and Lu Qing said, "There is no official history of oil painting in our country yet. I just wrote it last night based on what I know. I also sent a copy to Zhao Xian and asked her to go to the American Library and Zhejiang Library to check the relevant information. List come up with a detailed time chronology and verify it with several professors who teach art history. With such a time chronology, we will not go astray." Lu Qing said yes. The process of shooting, I think, is also a process of excavation and discovery. New information will constantly come out. We have a time chronology, but when shooting, We don't necessarily follow the time chronology, we will shoot which part of the film where we have collected enough materials and information first, disrupting the time and making it more vivid in form. Zhang Chen said. Lu Qing nodded. At around 10 o'clock, they arrived at the logistics base in Songjiang. Before they could reach the second goods office, they heard some noise inside. Zhang Chen stretched out his hand to signal Xiao Wu and Lu Qing not to go in yet. The three of them stood in the corridor at the door and listened. The second-rate guy said, "For those who are forced to raise the house, there is no room for negotiation. I will give you 1 week. Within 1 week, for those who are forced to raise the house, you must move out." The other party shouted, "Impossible. Our contract is until September next year, and the rent is also paid until September next year. Why should we be asked to move out? You are forced to do such immoral things here. Of course you can't do this. If I don't drive you out, who will I drive you out?" The second-rate guy shouted, "If you move out on your own, I will refund the remaining rent to you. If you don't want to move, I will help you move, and let the loaders throw all your things at the gate. The remaining rent will not be refunded and will be used as moving expenses. We have a contract, and the contract is just to rent your house. Do you have any control over what I do in the house?" The second-rate guy sneered and said, "You are raising me, you still know that this is my house? I don't care about you, who will be? I am raising you, do you still want to take care of me? Then we will sue you and file a lawsuit with you. According to the contract, you have breached the contract. The other party was not to be outdone. Go, you go now, you forced ones. Do you know how to get to Songjiang Court? Don't you know I will send you there?" Zhang Chen and the others walked in and saw two people sitting opposite Ergo's desk, talking to Ergo emotionally. Seeing them coming in, the idiot slapped the table and shouted, "Hey, instructor, why are you here?" He then waved to the two people opposite and said, "Go, my boss is here, you guys get out first." As soon as the other party heard that Zhang Chen was the boss of Erhuo, he immediately stood up, gathered around Zhang Chen, and asked the boss, "What's your last name?" "My boss's surname is your father," the idiot scolded. "It's useless to talk to anyone about your matters. I'm the one who decides what happens here. If you want to say, damn, you just have to talk to me." Zhang Chen said to the two people, "My surname is Zhang, but the idiot is right. Everything here is decided by the idiot. It's useless even if I say it. Come on. If you want to continue arguing, you can come over and argue after my boss leaves. We have to talk about things now. Get out." The second-rate guy cursed, but the two people were still standing there. The second-rate guy continued to curse, "Are you going to leave? If not, I'll call someone to carry you out." As the idiot said, he picked up the phone on the table and pretended to make a call. The two people had no choice but to say, "Then we will come back to you in the afternoon." After saying that, he nodded towards Zhang Chen and walked away. The second-rate guy walked over and closed the office door. "What's going on, you idiot?" Zhang Chen asked Lu Qing to sit on the sofa. **CK The second-rate guy looked at Lu Qing and held back. "These two guys are renting from us. I know. I heard outside the door that their rent has been paid until September next year. Why are you chasing them away?" Zhang Chen asked. "They are doing bad things here," Erhuo said and laughed. "I don't really want to drive them away. I am scaring them and educating them." "What bad things did they do?" Xiao Wu asked. "They changed the packaging in the warehouse and returned it to the supermarket. They changed the packaging of the things that had expired and sent them back as new goods. I discovered it," Erhuo said. "How can they do this? If this is no matter, our place will no longer be a logistics center, but will become a fake goods center. If our reputation is ruined, no one will dare to rent from us again." It turned out that this was what happened. Zhang Chen and the others nodded. Zhang Chen said, "You did the right thing, you idiot. If you find something like this, you must stop it in time." "Oh, it was our negligence. We didn't include this in the contract. Now they are seizing on this, making trouble here, and even saying they will file a lawsuit with me," Huo said. "It's okay, I'll support you even if you lose money," Zhang Chen said. "You can't lose money, don't worry, instructor," the second-rate guy said with a smile. "Oh, are you so sure?" Zhang Chen asked. "Of course, I've secretly photographed them changing their packaging. If there's really going to be a fuss, I'll take out these photos and tell them that I'm going to report them to the Industrial and Commercial Bureau. Aren't they scared to death?" Too, as Huo said, Zhang Chen and the others laughed. However, it is not easy for them to do some business. As long as they don't do this, why should I bother them? Not to mention the losses, where else can they move now? An expo will bring all the people in the city to the old houses have almost been demolished, and warehouses in Shanghai are very tight now. Here, the transportation and location are good, so there shouldn't be too many people renting them. "Then what are you going to do?" Zhang Chen asked. "These two guys are still arrogant now. They have been quarreling for several days. I am trying to kill their arrogance, force them, and give them a deadline. While they are arguing with me, they will definitely go out to find the warehouse. I know that it is difficult to find warehouses now, and if they lose their temper, they will turn to me and beg me. At that time, I will ask them, and they will have to agree," Huo said. "What are you asking them to do?" Zhang Chen asked. "Write a letter of guarantee and a letter of self-reflection," Huo said. Zhang Chen and the others couldn't help laughing, and Zhang Chen cursed, "Do you think you are a teacher and they are primary school students? Come on, I'm useful. The guarantee letter is for them to promise that they will never do this kind of thing again. After the self-reflection is written, I will also call all the tenants together and let them read their self-reflection in front of all tenants." "I'll go, you idiot," Xiao Wu shouted. "This is killing the chicken to scare the monkey," Huo said. "After they read the self-reflection letter, the tenants all know that I am great. At this time, I can ask all tenants to add a sentence in the contract that they are not allowed to produce fake and shoddy products, are not allowed to commit fraud, and are not allowed to. Just one sentence: you are not allowed to do things that violate national laws and regulations, otherwise you will be responsible for the consequences," Lu Qing said. Yes, just add this sentence," Huo said. "It's best to add another sentence," Zhang Chen said. "Partia has the right to make regular and surprise inspections." "That's good, instructor," the second-rate guy shouted. "Thank you to Lao Shenza Sang, Wooden Man, Benjio 0822, Hoo, Book Friends 201811071825333788, Book Friends 1202111022076691, Quadratic VC, and Tamagotchi for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1594. Zhang Chen and the others finished lunch in the restaurant of the logistics base and prepared to go to Shanghai. When I walked out of the restaurant, I saw the two people from the morning standing not far away. It seemed that they were waiting for the second-hand goods. It seemed that they were really unwilling to move out. Lu Qing smiled softly and said to Huo, "They will probably give in the afternoon." The second-hand guy said, "It's best to be like this. Please beg me, and then obediently write the letter of apology, and write it in a profound way, otherwise I will ask someone to move their things tomorrow. I don't believe it, and I can't punish them to death." Lu Qing and Zhang Chen Xiao laughed. Zhang Chen said, "Be careful. They're all there, instructor, Don't worry, said the second-hand guy. Zhang Chen and the others got into the car. When they got to the car, Lu Qing asked Zhang Chen, Brother Zhang, where did you find this talent? Who? He's a second-rate guy, Lu Qing said. He looks like a promiscuous person, but I didn't expect that he could manage such a large logistic space in an orderly manner. Not to mention other things, it's just this canteen. Hurry up. Come to our restaurant, and the people eating here are all truck drivers and migrant workers. Zhang Chen smiled and said, yes, he has all social wisdom. His methods may not seem to be on the stage, but they are very effective. That's why I say he is a talent, Lu Qing chuckled. By the way, Brother Zhang, why did he call you instructor? Lu Qing asked. Zhang Chen told Lu Qing about the origin of the instructor. Lu Qing laughed. She said, don't tell me. In the war years, it would be really cool to have such a second company commander who can be life and death. Good. After entering the city, Zhang Chen asked Xiao Wu to go directly to the club on Changsha Road, where Xiaomi was. When he arrived at the club, Zhang Chen was shocked. 40 or 50 of their Liu customized members were waiting for him. The leisure chairs under the sun in the garden, the living room and the sofas in every room were all full of people. When Xiaomi saw Zhang Chen, she told him with a grimace, there is no way, I can't push him away. You did it on purpose, right? Zhang Chen said, how else would they know I was coming today? Xiaomi giggled and said, who makes you the golden sign of our company? Did you see that there are a few of us who are not our members yet? Today I came with my friends to see you. Once you come, you will become our members. The next step was to sign autographs and take photos. Lu Qing took the camera from Xiaomi and told her to take the photos while you go receive the guests. After working for more than an hour, everyone finally took a group photo and got signed books, but everyone seemed unwilling to leave. Some people said that it was rare for Professor Zhang to come and he would always tell us. The others clapped. Xiaomi quickly told them, sorry, there are still members waiting on Tian Road. Xiaomi, what do you mean? Those on Tian Road are members. Oh, we are not your members anymore, someone asked. Xiaomi quickly said, no, we have to wait for a group photo over there. We're late, the sun is going down. Everyone was giggling, but they were still dissatisfied. After discussing it with Zhang Chen, Xiaomi said to everyone, in this way, we really have to rush there today. Also, Mr. Zhang is not ready yet. Let's wait for Mr. Zhang to prepare well tonight. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we will give you a lecture at Jinmao Tower, and then everyone will how about having dinner together at Jinmao Tower. When everyone heard what Xiaomi said, they all applauded and said yes, 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 yes. Xiaomi and Zhang Chen came out together and went to their Liu Custom Club on Tian Road. After getting in the car, Lu Qing quietly asked Zhang Chen, is this your company's business? Why does it look like a celebrity to me? Zhang Chen said, there is no way. When we get to Shanghai, we will have no choice but to be plotted by Xiaomi. Xiaomi, who was sitting in the front passenger seat, burst into laughter and said, other companies still hire celebrities to do advertisements. We have celebrities ourselves, how can we not make good use of them? Lu Qing is right, you have to strike while the iron is hot. However, this old bungalow is so beautiful. Brother Zhang, have you ever thought about it? This old bungalow can be used as the background. You sit in this old bungalow and tell a person's history of oil painting. Mr. Mi, how do you use your Shanghai dialect? Say, Lu Qing asked. Always has the same accent, Xiaomi said. Yes, you have the same accent, Lu Qing said with a smile. Zhang Chen thought Lu Qing's idea was a good one. He thought about it and said to Lu Qing, Beijing, Shanghai, and Hangzhou are all three important nodes. When talking about Beijing, you can take pictures at our club in Beijing, which is a nice courtyard house. When talking about Shanghai, you can take pictures at Changsha Road and Tian Road. Shot in an old bungalow. When it comes to Hangzhou and the National Art College, you can go to the clubhouse of your Genshin power plant to take pictures, Lu Qing said. No, our club on Yahuangshan Road is more interesting. Also, you can go to Gome. They have renovated the old house of the National Art College, Zhang Chen said. When it comes to contemporary things, you can go to Sanya to take pictures. Okay, it's settled then, Lu Qing shouted. That night, Zhang Chen and the others stayed at the newly opened Kempinski Hotel in Lojiazhuai. After dinner, Zhang Chen and Lu Qing went to the executive lounge on their executive floor and found a seat near the floor-to-ceiling glass. Looking down through the glass, you can see the Oriental Pearl Tower and the Bund across the river. Lu Qing asked Zhang Chen, "You don't need to prepare well." "What to prepare? Don't you want to give them a good talk tomorrow? There are so many fans." "There is no need to prepare. Just talk about Pan Yuliang and Guanzilan, intersperse some Cheongsam content, and be close to the style of Story Club. Lu Qing chuckled, "It seems that you are already able to cope with this kind of situation." "No matter where I go, I don't need to prepare anything," Zhang Chen said, remembering, "By the way, I may not necessarily follow the script in the future." "It doesn't matter, it's not a live broadcast, it can be edited," Lu Qing said, "you just have to express yourself freely." The two were chatting casually. Zhang Chen asked Lu Qing, "How is your father now?" "I don't know, he won't say whether it's good or bad," Lu Qing said, "this has been the case since I was a child. My father never showed his emotions in front of me. When I was a child, I was a little afraid of him. I don't even kiss him, but as I grow up and understand him a little bit, it's actually better." "Your father is a good man," Zhang Chen said, "he is a good official. I admire him very much." Lu Qing laughed and said, "You guys really sympathize with each other. My father also said that you are a good boss. You are not so mercenary and you have limits as a human being." "Thank you," Zhang Chen said. "Thank you for nothing. It was my dad who praised you, not me," Lu Qing chuckled. The two were silent. The lights in the lounge were dim, but the Oriental Pearl Tower outside the glass and the Bund on the other side were colorful. Lu Qing turned to look outside, and the colorful light reflected on her face, making her face exposed. There was a sad and confused look on his face. Lu Qing sighed and said, "I have heard many people say to me that your father is a good official, but you may not know that I, especially my mother, would rather my father was not an official but an ordinary person." "Why?" Zhang Chen asked. "That's at least a bit normal," Lu Qing said, "his official position is getting bigger and bigger, but for us, we don't enjoy the benefits it brings. It's more pressure and helplessness. Do you know? Even normal interactions between classmates are becoming more and more difficult, and my mother is even worse. She can't even be a good person with her tail between her legs, and she has offended almost all her relatives and friends." Zhang Chen remembered that Lu Changcheng told him about the time when Lu Changcheng was at Shanghai Pudong Airport. In order to get close to him, he arranged his daughter to be in Lu Qing's class and became good friends with Lu Qing. He wanted to do this. Things like this will indeed leave a shadow for a child. When Lu Qing said that even normal interactions between classmates are becoming more and more difficult, this is probably what he was referring to. As for her mother being a good person with her tail between her legs, Zhang Chen didn't understand. Zhang Chen asked, "You said your mother has offended all your relatives and friends. What's going on?" "My dad's official position is getting bigger and bigger, and my mom's normal interpersonal interactions are getting less and less. Lu Chencheng's wife doesn't dare to go to dinner when others ask her to do it, or to visit her for a visit. We have to be cautious, fearing that others may ask for something. We are not fools. Gradually, few people in our family dare to come. It's awkward to come. They are all guarded like thieves. Why come? The relatives at home are even more so. Considering that my father is such a high official and he is a relative, every household will inevitably encounter times when they need help. As for relatives, they will definitely come to the house instead of going to work. When I got home, I told my mother about the matter. My mother knew that even if I told my father about these things, he wouldn't help, and it would be in vain. Then what should I do? Instead of letting my dad offend people, it's better for her to come and refuse everything here. Once or twice, the relatives also got the idea and stopped coming to the door. They didn't even call me during the New Year or holidays. Is it okay to treat you as a ghost and keep a respectful distance? Is it okay to treat you as a relative? Especially my uncle. He works in engineering. If my father doesn't help him, it doesn't matter. He took over the project by himself. My father also messed with him. You also know how big the improvement of West Lake in Hangzhou is. Among the projects, my uncle took over one of the Liaolang Xinjiang reconstruction projects. When my father found out about it, he had to ask my mother to talk to my uncle and ask him to push this project forward. My mom told my dad that you didn't help him say hello to this project, and I didn't help him with activities. It has nothing to do with us, how can I say it? My dad said, it has nothing to do with it, he is Lu Qinchin's brother-in-law, just with this sign, still need us to say hello? He can get through without any obstruction. In the end, my mother didn't go to my uncle, but my father called the Park Cultural Bureau directly and told them to kick my uncle out of this project, not only from this project, but from all projects. My uncle showed up. I was so angry that my uncle came to my door and had a big quarrel with my father. After the quarrel, he ran away to Yunnan. He said, I am far away from you, Lu Chengcheng, and I will just pretend that I don't have a brother-in-law like you. That's all. Bar. After my uncle ran away to Yunnan, he never contacted us again. Even when my mother called him, he didn't answer the phone. My grandparents stopped communicating with us because of this. My grandpa said that since my father doesn't recognize his relatives, then even they don't have to admit it. They don't need to rely on my parents and can still live well. Because of this, my mother often cried secretly alone. It was so uncomfortable. I understand her discomfort. I have experienced it too. When I was in the second grade of junior high school, our class teacher went out of her way to teach her husband about his job transfer. Leave me here, tell me the matter, and let me go home and talk to my dad. She felt that such a trivial matter was not easy for my father, just a phone call, but when I got home, how could I dare to tell my father? I didn't dare to say it at home. When I got to school, I hid when I saw the teacher. I didn't dare to look up at her in class. The teacher caught me and asked me if I had told my father. What should I do? Can I say that I didn't say anything at all? Can only be vague. I was so anxious that I cried at home and pretended to be sick. I didn't even dare to go to school. My mother took me to the hospital for a checkup. The doctor told her that I didn't have any disease. My mother asked me. In the end, I could only after I told her about this, my mother sighed. Do you know what happened in the end? Lu Qing asked. Zhang Chen shook his head. Finally, it was my mother who went behind my father's back for the first time and did something he wouldn't allow. My mother helped my husband, the head teacher, get the job transfer done. What else would I do? I wouldn't have to go to school. Or should I go to school to make a scene and change the class teacher? In that case, I would be too stressed in school, right? My dad was transferred to another province. To be honest, my mom and I are very happy, not because he got promoted again, but because we finally don't have to face this situation. My dad doesn't work in Hangzhou anymore. Someone will come looking for us again, and even if they do, we have a reason to push them away. My father was transferred to other provinces, including later to Beijing. My mother could actually be transferred with him, and the organization would make arrangements. However, my mother just refused to be with my father. She just didn't want to be in that situation again. Right now. In this way, living in two places is much quieter. Thank you Quadratic VC, 0HJKLG, 2 fishes 1 up and 1 down, for the reward at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. Thank you Lulu 6717P11, my heart sinks for you, the toad with flying dreams, George Shao, Happy Luhong, Book Friend 201906211331102536, Book Friend 201711210832371166, Laugh at the Situation, Zonkai 727, Book Friend 201710092048358180, Book Friend 201711210832371166 Monthly Passes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1595. Zhang Chen and Lu Qing said, "This is really unexpected." Yes, people like us, in the eyes of ordinary people, probably feel that they have unlimited glory. Including society, when it comes to people like us, there is probably a fixed impression, arrogant, unruly, greedy, cynical, all the way. It was all paved for you by your fathers, and it's golden, right? Lu Qing asked. Zhang Chen was right, most people would indeed have such an impression when talking about it. What about you? What do you think? Lu Qing asked. Me? I haven't thought about it. At least I don't think you will be like this, Zhang Chen said. Thank you, Lu Qing smiled. Zhang Chen thought of Li Yong, Sun Ho, and Huang Jianren. Sun Ho and Huang Jianren were also the people like us, Lu Qing said. They were indeed very energetic, but they had to be combined with words such as arrogance, unruly greed, and so on. It seems inappropriate, maybe I don't know, or it's not like this when they are with me and Lu Ligan. But Zhang Chen can't say what will happen in front of other people. People are multifaceted, and the relationship between people is also relative. One-on-one, A and B will definitely not get along with A. C or D are the same. If I said that I, even CCTV, was recruited by myself and had nothing to do with my dad, would you believe it? Lu Qing asked. Zhang Chen said I believed it. However, there is nothing not to believe, Lu Qing said with a smile, I am just a time-lapse ghost. What do you mean? Zhang Chen asked. Nowadays, few people like us go to the media. I am an alternative, Lu Qing said. A few years ago, when the media was still very popular, there would be many connected households, especially the children of cottars. Whoever goes now, the uncrowned king has long become the uncrowned king. Even those who entered a few years ago are almost gone now. Now, don't they all like to go to some asset management company, fund company, or financial company? No one wants to go to the media for a long time. Zhang Chen said yes, that seems to be the case. It was only after I entered that people knew that I was Lu Qing's daughter, Lu Qing said. I don't deny that this has brought me benefits. Most people don't become producers as fast as me, moreover, my topic selection was rarely eliminated compared to others. After going round and round, I still got the credit of my father. This is not a blessing. Every unit always needs people who can do things, Zhang Chen said. I think you are very capable. There are many capable people who have been working in obscurity, Lu Qing said. I understand this very clearly. Since I can't avoid the fact that I am Lu Qing's daughter, I will do everything well and conscientiously. This way, at least I can be worthy of myself. Zhang Chen nodded. The two raised their glasses, clinked them, and put them down. Lu Qing asked, what about you? How are you? I mean at home. Our family is a very ordinary one. My parents are both workers. There is nothing special about our family except chicken feathers and garlic skin, Zhang Chen said. That's good too, Lu Qing said. There are some things that you may not understand at the time, but as time passes, you will understand. Lu Qing's words were a bit incomprehensible and inconsistent. Zhang Chen didn't know how to respond to her words. Lu Qing herself probably realized it. She laughed and said, "That's a bit of a leap, isn't it?" Zhang Chen is right. I suddenly remembered a friend of mine, a friend who is still in Europe, Lu Qing said. Zhang Chen still didn't know how he should answer this. He could only raise his cup. Lu Qing also raised it, and the two touched again. After taking a sip, Lu Qing did not put the cup down immediately. Instead, she turned her head outwards, raised the wine glass to her eyes, and looked through the glass to see the colorful scenery outside. She shook her hand gently, shaking the wine in the glass. Her face flashed in the sloshing of wine. Putting down the cup, Lu Qing asked, "Brother Zhang, you should know why I want to go to Europe, right?" Zhang Chen said he knew. "Your father told me that day at Pudong Airport." Lu Qing nodded and said, "Actually, I don't want to go out at all. My independent survival ability is quite poor. I have always been with my mother. Before going to Europe, I had never even traveled alone from Hangzhou to Shanghai. Everything was I was forced to come out. After arriving in Europe, I felt very miserable and missed home. When I first went there, I cried almost every night. I don't even know why I came to such a strange place, and it's such an unfriendly place. Those white people have a kind of contempt for Asians in their bones. Everyone says that Chinese students go there outside. I still like to be with Chinese people, but in fact, there is no way I can't blend in with the local crowd. In the school I attended, there were very few Chinese people. Some of them were in pairs. I was the only one, and I felt very lonely. It wasn't until another year later that another girl came. She was the daughter of a deputy director of a department under my father. I don't know if her father found out about the school I was in and arranged for his daughter to come. Just like I had met before, I didn't ask and she didn't tell, but we immediately became very good friends. We rented a house together and lived together, and she even transferred to my school. She always seemed to have endless money to spend. According to her conditions, she didn't have to live with me at all. Whenever she has time, she will take me to eat delicious food. When the holidays come, we will travel around Europe. She will treat me. I want to treat me too, but I am poor and have no money. I can treat me as much as I want. Sorry, we often joke that I was raised by her. Thinking about my dad at that time, I looked down on him a little bit. I thought he was a failure. A deputy director could take care of his family so well. Growing up, what did I have? Except for nothing. I feel aggrieved to have nothing but an eldest daughter. Sometimes, to be honest, I am quite envious of others. I even hate my dad a little. I think he is very selfish. He cherishes his feathers very much, but the sacrifice is his family, my mother, and I think my dad is just trying to gain fame. This friend and I have been getting along like this. I have never told my dad. If I told my dad, as you know, Brother Zhang, he would definitely let me drop out of school and return to China immediately. That with her as my companion, I have adapted to life outside and don't want to come back. When Lu Qing said this, she raised the cup again, still placing it in front of her eyes, and looked at the colorful scenery outside. She shook it gently with her right hand, and her face flashed again. Zhang Chen looked at her silently. Lu Qing turned around and handed the cup forward. She said, "Here, cheers." Zhang Chen touched her. Lu Qing said, later something happened to her father, and her mother called her and warned her that no matter what happened, she must not return to China. That was the last call her mother made to her, and she also warned her to return home immediately. The phone number has been changed. If there is anything, call her aunt's home phone number. The next day, she changed her mobile phone number and called her aunt's house. The aunt told her that her mother had also gone in. The aunt also told her that all the accounts of his parents had been frozen, including those of their relatives. The account is also monitored. If there is no money, she can only think of a solution outside. Her life was completely disrupted because of this. She did not dare to return to the country for fear of being implicated. Even her aunt's home phone number, her aunt said, do not call her, as it will definitely be monitored. Originally, she and I were about to graduate that year, and her grades were pretty good. She got all the credits, and there was no problem at all. However, except for two, she failed the exam on purpose. Never had. Why? Zhang Chen asked. In order to stay there, you need to get a residence permit. The residence permit is renewed every year. It's easy to get the residence permit as a student, Lu Qing said, but to renew the residence, you need to prove that you have passed courses. You must pass at least 2 courses in a year, so she only passed 2 gates. Zhang Chen nodded and understood. Lu Qing continued, but as a student, she cannot work in Europe. She can only work part-time jobs designated by the school. That kind of job requires luck and is not available all the time. Her family has no money to give her. She usually spends a lot of money and has no savings. At this time, she can only rely on working illegally and living in a mixed life to stay there. As of this year, she has been in Europe for 6 years. She still has 2 years left to study abroad. She must graduate with an 8-year undergraduate degree, otherwise her student status will be cancelled. After the student status is cancelled, there is no way to renew her residence. What should she do? Zhang Chen asked. If you have no choice, just keep it secret, as long as you don't get caught by the police, Lu Qing said. It was miserable anyway. When I returned to China, she hugged me and cried again and again. I was still able to contact her the year I came back. I fell in love with her, but now I can't even contact her, I can't get through the phone, I can't find her online, I feel like a kite, completely disconnected. I don't know how she is now, but I often think of her, Lu Qing said and sighed, thinking about it this way, my dad was right. He at least kept our family safe. I later understood, if a person in his position wants to protect himself and his family, sometimes it may not be possible if he doesn't act in an extreme way. Zhang Chen looked at Lu Qing and didn't know what to say. Lu Qing smiled and said, isn't it difficult to understand that people like us can only have such humble thoughts sometimes? Zhang Chen said, such an idea is not humble. Survival is much harder than we imagined. Sometimes it is a luxury for a family to be safe. Lu Qing looked at Zhang Chen and thought of something. She said, I'm sorry, brother Zhang. Thank you for living in a dream, a safe journey, you know whether the book is good or not. Very attentive 333, cicadas chirping in the glow, $dollar wandering #@ take a look at leisure, forget the password and start over, 999 little stupid cow 999, wandering monthly passes for ye may fly, Ching Chuan's Hai Feng, Jia UPS, Toad dreaming of flying, book friends 202009111601099750, book friends 201906211331102536. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1596. Lu Yun walked into the lobby of Jinmao Tower. When she was about to reach the elevator, she stopped, turned around and walked to the guidance platform. She stood there and stared at the big screen in front of her. Just now, she saw Zhang Chen and a woman, and a small man who looked familiar. Lu Yun remembered at this time that he was Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan's former colleague in the theater troupe. They were on the beach in Sanya. He performed a somersault for them and won everyone's applause. The three of them stood there waiting for the elevator. Lu Yun had never seen that little girl before, and there was no need to think about it. She would definitely not know her. At her age, when Lu Yun met Zhang Chen, she was probably still in elementary school. Lu Yun stood at the guidance desk for 6 or 7 minutes. Then she walked over and saw that the three people had already gone upstairs. Lu Yun pressed the up button of the elevator, tightened her abdomen, and breathed a sigh of relief. Lu Yun walked into her office and closed the door. She walked to her desk and sat down, placing her hands on the desk and sitting in a daze. She knew that Zhang Chen was in this building, just downstairs. She felt a little strange that her mood seemed to be very calm. She had calmed down after the initial panic downstairs. In recent years, there has been a lot of news about Zhang Chen on the internet, especially in the past year, and there have been many videos. Zhang Chen has become a celebrity. Lu Yun has watched almost every one of his videos. What makes her feel strange is that she feels that the same Zhang Chen is separated in the video. When she read paintings and saw Zhang Chen sitting in front of a painting and talking about it, she felt that this was the Zhang Chen she was familiar with. This was the Zhang Chen she imagined. But when she saw the videos of his speeches, Lu Yun began to hesitate. She felt that this Zhang Chen was a bit unfamiliar. He was a bit bluffing when he was on stage, and he was using this bluff to cover up something. Lu Yun watched attentively. She saw Zhang Chen talking non-stop on the stage, his eyes slightly pointing forward and upward, as if his eyes were wandering. Lu Yun noticed that in the middle of the speech, he stopped on the stage, turned around, and coughed lightly. Lu Yun felt that she seemed to see Zhang Chen sighing softly at the same time. That profile made people feel a little sad. That is the real Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen always has such a slightly sad temperament. When he turned around and faced the audience again, his face became bright again, and the sadness was quickly covered up by him. Lu Yun heard her heart shouting, "No, no," but no matter, it was Zhang Chen and everyone else ignored her. Lu Yun is also paying attention to Zhang Chen's half-mute yen store on Douyin.com, but the clothes she buys are getting less and less. She feels that many of the clothes in half-mute yen no longer have that warm feeling. She suspected that many of them were not designed by Zhang Chen. Lu Yun didn't understand clothing design, but she could feel it from a piece of clothing. Lu Yun saw that there were still some boring people on the internet, so she made a ranking of Diamond Kings and Lao Wu. Lu Ligan and Zhang Chen were both in it. Later, Lu Ligan's name disappeared, but Zhang Chen was still there. Lu Yun felt strange. Diamond King Lao Wu, does that mean that Zhang Chen is single now and he is no longer with Xiao Zhao? Why? Knowing that Zhang Chen is now single, Lu Yun is a little excited, but at the same time a little disappointed. The excitement is of course because Zhang Chen is single, which means that something impossible has become a little bit possible, and the disappointment is also because Zhang Chen is already single. Lu Yun has always been very optimistic about Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao. When she looked at them together, just like she looked at the clothes designed by Zhang Chen, Lu Yun also felt a little warm. Girls in the Chinese department have been colorful since they were young. Lu Yun felt that Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao were a bit like in her dream. She looked at it and thought it was good and didn't want to disturb it. But now, if they are no longer together, Lu Yun will feel like her dream has been shattered. She will start to doubt her own judgment, and feel that something is no longer so strong. Lu Yun doubts her own judgment and then doubts herself, which makes Lu Yun doubt her own judgment. While she was feeling disappointed, she also felt a little irritable. Next, disappointments came one after another. Photos of Zhang Chen and Tan Shahan began to circulate on the internet. Lu Yun knew Tan Shahan. She had seen many photos of her before, and in those photos, she always appeared next to Lu Ligan. Lu Yun knew that something had happened to Lu Ligan, and then he was dismissed as chairman of Splendid China. The person who succeeded him as chairman of Splendid China was actually Tan Shahan, the woman who was beside Lu Ligan. What did she do to get herself to the top? Then, a photo of Zhang Chen and Tan Shahen appeared, and Tan Shahen became the woman next to Zhang Chen. What a bloody plot is this? Does Tan Shahen's rise to the top have something to do with Zhang Chen? What about Lu Lipol? Zhang Chen and him, aren't they brothers? Zhang Chen and Tan Shahen are also called the Golden Boy on the internet. Lu Yun remembers that when she appeared next to Lu Ligan, someone said the same thing about them. Now, the Golden Girl is still the same Golden Boy, and the Golden Boy has changed from Lu Ligan. Zhang Chen. Lu Yun felt that something in her heart had collapsed. She was very disappointed with Zhang Chen. Because of her disappointment with Zhang Chen, she began to be disappointed with herself. Lu Yun put all the half-acre field clothes back in that room, locked the door, and never went in again. When she locked the door, Lu Yun felt that the door to her heart was also locked. When watching Zhang Chen's videos online, she had more of a bystander's perspective. Sometimes, she even stared at the computer screen with a sneer. This world is indeed changing rapidly. Nothing remains unchanged except change itself. Driven by fame and fortune, who else can maintain their original intention? As always, since they can't do it themselves, there is no need to ask others like this. Lu Yun sighed. At that moment, she felt lonely, that looming, permanent there was no one in her heart, and Lu Yun felt like she had been evacuated. The only thing she could have was herself. She felt like she was standing in the traffic, with the cars rushing by and turning a blind eye to her. She didn't even want to see clearly who was in the car. Neither is possible. Lu Yun retracted her hands and hugged herself gently. Someone knocked on the door, and Lu Yun said, "Come in." An assistant appeared at the door. She came over, put an envelope on Lu Yun's desk, and said to Lu Yun, "Mr. Lu, your ticket." Lu Yun nodded and said thank you. The assistant turned and walked out. Lu Yun stared at the envelope on the table. She stretched out her fingers and touched the envelope gently. Lu Yun is going to the United States today. She is going to attend a funeral. The old Jewish lady, the chairman who has long since retired, was declared brain dead by doctors last night and is still using a ventilator to maintain vital signs. This is to buy time for her relatives and friends from all over the world to fly to the United States and attend the funeral, because according to Jewish tradition, after death, a person must be buried within 24 hours, and at the same time, they are waiting and placed in the coffin. A bag of sand flown in from Israel. Lu Yun recalled the scene when she interviewed her at the Portman Hotel. Everything was still vivid in front of her eyes, but now, they were actually in two worlds. The old lady had said goodbye to this world, and her heart was also ready at any time. May stop beating. Maybe it was at the moment when my plane flew over the Bering Strait. Lu Yun felt palpitations. This world is indeed changing rapidly, whether you understand it or not. It was drizzling in Brooklyn, New York, in December. Lu Yun was holding a black umbrella and standing on the green lawn of the cemetery with many people. Originally, Jewish funerals were very small, with only relatives attending. However, the old lady was so popular on Wall Street that many people wanted to attend her funeral and say goodbye to her, so the organizers made adjustments. When Lu Yun arrived in New York, the old lady's heart had not stopped beating. Lu Yun was in the ward, holding her hand and bursting into tears. Lu Yun had a very special relationship with the old lady. She was the old lady's goddaughter. Seeing Lu Yun also arriving, the old lady's eldest son signaled to the doctor that the tube could be extubated. The old lady left this world quietly. When Lu Yun saw her again, she was already wrapped in a white linen shroud. The shroud had no pockets, which meant that she would not take her with her when she was alive. The old lady was lying in the pine coffin with her. And a bag of soil flown in from Israel. The rain kept falling, falling in succession, floating in front of and behind everyone. Lu Yun stood quietly, while the rabbi stood in front of the tomb, reciting the Hesp prayer. The old lady's 3 sons stood behind the rabbi, tearing off the left sleeve of the gown according to tradition, because the left sleeve was close to the heart. It means your heart is broken. The breeze was blowing the drizzle, shrouding the entire cemetery in mist. The black cloth pinned to Lu Yun's chest was fluttering in the breeze. Someone pinned it to Lu Yun's chest and had already cut a slit. Lu Yun tore open the cut with her hands, and now the black cloth turned into 2 streamers, floating. This also comes from Jewish tradition. In the past, when a Jew died, relatives and friends would express their pain by tearing their coats at the funeral. Now, this piece of black cloth is used to represent the coat. Everyone attending the funeral, the black cloth is torn apart. The world is changing rapidly. There is nothing that cannot be changed. The crowd began to move slowly. Everyone took turns walking to the tomb, grabbing a handful of soil and spreading it on the coffin that had been placed in the tomb. Lu Yun looked at the flow of people in front of her and was shocked. She saw a familiar Asian face appearing in front of the tomb just now. When Lu Yun looked again, she had already turned around and left. Lu Yun looked at her back and shook her head. She felt that she must have seen it wrong. It was so far away and it was raining in the sky. She must have been dazzled. It was Lu Yun's turn. Lu Yun let go of her right hand and the soil in her hand fell on the coffin. Lu Yun murmured, "Rest in peace." She turned around and looked for the person in front of her, but she couldn't find it anywhere. All she could see before her eyes were scattered black umbrellas of the same shape, like black streams running through the green, flowing among the trees. The drizzle in Brooklyn was floating in front of and behind Lu Yun. Thank you Quadratic VC for the reward of 2 fishes, 1 up and 1 down, at around 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. Thank you for the chair in the world, the chuckle of self-driving, in gross 11, PCM 600812, Zipanjiang 1, Li Rujin, the toad dreaming of flying, I am scared, the wind has passed by, the name of the dragon is relatively long, book friends 2017112108323716, 201809062232049334, Robin Granite, Dung Long Dong, Tianwen 1978, Dragon, ABC 19791205, Xiaoyang 2005, CYTYP, I19790607, Hua Xin Yang Xiao, Shi Yi Tan, George Xiao, Elba King, Purple Ji, Ling Zhong, Xiao Hu Swan SA, Cheng Shanming, Bronze. 1890-798-3117, Kidnapper, monthly tickets for book friends 201906211331102536, 201811072356299095, 2019121703323887, 2021031615021795. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1597. The 2 people were sitting on the terrace by the swimming pool, looking at the valley below. The dusk was rising little by little from the valley below. At this moment, the lights in the entire tropical botanical garden were lit up. The dusk seemed to recede a little, but soon then they came back again. They first blackened the areas where the light could not reach, and then expanded their territory little by little. Finally, they climbed to the top of the mountain and were submerged in black. When the sky darkens, the glass marine life museum on the sea becomes more and more crystal clear, like a crystal palace, shining brightly. In the restaurant connected to the marine life museum, there is a shadow in a certain unit. There was a banquet going on, and they all seemed to hear the clinking of glasses. Lu Qing sighed in the darkness and said, "It seems that being a capitalist is not bad." Jiang Chen laughed softly and asked, "Why do you have such emotion? As a capitalist, you can have such a place that ordinary people can't even dream of," Lu Qing said. "This house has been built for more than 2 years," Jiang Chen said. "Like you, I entered here for the first time today. By the way, it seems that you came in first." "TCH, what does this mean?" "You don't want to come, but others want to come but can't get in," Lu Qing said. "Can this be the same?" "Okay, even if you are right, how about filming a man's history of oil painting here?" Jiang Chen asked. "Don't you regret it?" Lu Qing asked. "What do you regret?" Jiang Chen asked in surprise. Lu Qing said, "I'm worried that after filming here, it will be like the bird's nest inn if you are the one. It will become famous immediately. Many people will come here to see it. By then, it will be impossible for you not to be disturbed." "It's okay. I'm not here usually anyway. By the time I'm here every day, everyone will probably have forgotten about this place," Jiang Chen said. "When will you be here every day?" Lu Qing asked curiously. "When I retire." "Haha, then I can't wait for that day," Lu Qing said with a smile. "Why?" Jiang Chen asked. "You capitalists are all greedy by nature. There will never be a time when you stop making money. It is more difficult for you to really retire than to stop gamblers from going to the gambling table," Lu Qing said. "All capitalists who claim to be retired, it's all pretentious." "No, I'm not very interested in making money," Jiang Chen said. "Hypocritical, that's because you have money," Lu Qing said. "By the way, recall, what was it like when you had no money?" Jiang Chen laughed and said, "Every day I go to the West Lake to draw portraits, but students from the Academy of Fine Arts took away my business. By the way, I went to the restaurant to apply for a job, even with light soy sauce, dark soy sauce and black soy sauce. I don't even know about soy sauce, so I was kicked out. At that time, you would say, wasn't I very interested in making money?" Lu Qing asked. Jiang Chen said honestly, "No, I almost went to Danzhou farm to plant rubber." "So you are also showing off," Lu Qing said. Jiang Chen said, "Okay, you are right, I am a hypocritical person." "You are not hypocritical," Lu Qing smiled. "What is that?" Jiang Chen asked. "You are habitually moving yourself to make yourself feel that you are not a glutton," Lu Qing chuckled. "This is like a professor who always says that he has little study. He is also habitually moving. Make yourself feel that you are still a very humble person." Jiang Chen laughed. "By the way, brother Jiang, I found a problem," Lu Qing said. "What's the problem?" Jiang Chen asked. "The current weather in Sanya is like summer. Why are we sitting here without bugs? This is unscientific," Lu Qing said. Jiang Chen laughed and said, "This is exactly science. Not only are there no small flying insects here, there are no small flying insects in the entire valley." "Why?" Lu Qing asked, "do you apply insecticide every day? How can that be done?" "Aren't all the birds dead?" Jiang Chen said. "In this botanical garden, there are many plants from Africa and South America. These plants have the function of repelling insects. Did you know that throughout New Zealand? There are green grass everywhere, but there are no snakes in the whole country, not a single one. Whether they are animals or plants, they all have natural enemies. Well, if we let 100,000 Cantonese people go there, there would be no snakes." "Cantonese people are also the natural enemies of snakes," Lu Qing said. Jiang Chen laughed. He was right, Cantonese are still the natural enemies of rats. They talked and laughed. At about 9 o'clock in the evening, the two of them walked down the mountain and drove to Ben Muishan Hotel, where Feng Logui and the others were performing. When Jiang Chen was at the airport in the afternoon, he talked to Cao Minfang, who came to pick them up. He wanted to treat everyone in the troupe to dinner tonight and asked her to help arrange it. Cao Minfang said that it would be better to arrange them in the box below, where it would be easier to talk and no one would disturb them. The last time Mr. Tan invited them, they were arranged in the box. Zhang Chen said, "Okay, just help me decide." The troupe's performance ended almost at midnight. Zhang Chen went there so early because he remembered that he had not seen the troupe's performance since he left the troupe, and he wanted to go and see it. Lu Qing grew up in Hangzhou. She had watched Wu opera, but had never seen Wu opera. She also wanted to know what Wu opera was like, so the two of them went there. Cao Minfang was waiting for them at the gate of Banmuishan Hotel. When she saw them coming, she accompanied them in the elevator upstairs. As soon as the elevator door opened, she heard thunderous cheers and shouts of "one more," on the top of the building. "Coming at you." Zhang Chen asked Cao Minfang, "What's going on?" Cao Minfang laughed and said, "The performance of Stealing Immortal Grass must have just ended, and the audience asked to do it again." Zhang Chen laughed. He didn't expect Su Jianmi's Stealing Immortal Grass to be so popular in Sanya. Su Jianmi's braids would probably stand up to the sky. Cao Minfang led them to a place 5 or 6 meters away from the stage and stopped. The performance on the stage had already begun. Zhang Chen looked at the stage and was confused. He saw the man standing on the high platform with his back to the side. From the side, she is not Su Jianmi. She is younger than Su Jianmi. Are there new people in the troupe? Zhang Chen thought. When the white snake somersaulted down from the high platform, the audience cheered loudly. The white snake appeared again, and Zhang Chen was shocked. He saw that the person on the stage was actually Xiang Nan. Xiang Nan? When did she come? Zhang Chen asked Cao Minfang. Yesterday, Cao Minfang said with a smile, "I came on stage yesterday and it seems I'm leaving tomorrow. There are many guests here. They came specifically to see her today. Just performing Stealing Immortal Grass is not enough. She will also sing later." Zhang Chen thought to himself that when we went south to Sanya, Tan Shahen never told him that he and Lu Qing had dinner with Tan Shahen last night. Tan Shahen knew that he and Lu Qing were coming to Sanya today. Zhang Chen thought for a while and realized that Xiang Nan must have sneaked over to see Feng Logui, and Tan Shahen didn't know about it at all. "Who is this little girl? She is so beautiful," Lu Qing asked Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen told her that she was Tan Shahen's daughter, and Lu Qing said, "No wonder." The performance of Stealing Immortal Grass was over, and the applause was non-stop. Xiangnan was invited to the stage by Su Jianmi, who announced the curtain, and singing followed. However, Xiangnan was different from Tan Shahen. She sang pop songs. Teacher Su and the others used flute and banhu, erhu, and drum board accompany her. It sounds a bit strange, but it is also interesting. Xiang Nan sang Angela Chang's Invisible Wings on the stage. When she sang "I see / the sunset will change every day," she saw Zhang Chen in the audience, waved to him and said hello. Zhang Chen also waved to her. Xiang Nan sang 3 songs in a row, and then she barely satisfied the audience's appetite and was able to get off the stage. She didn't even take off her makeup and ran over. Su Jianmi also followed her. Xiang Nan shouted to Zhang Chen, "Uncle Zhang Chen." Zhang Chen and Xiang Nan said, "I was shocked to see you here." Xiang Nan, "How did you come here?" Xiang Nan said, "I'm filming in Shenzhen, and I didn't have any scenes in the past 2 days, so I came over." Su Jianmi said from the side, "Don't pretend, are you addicted to drama?" Xiang Nan giggled. Nan, either you come to the troupe or not." Su Jianmi said, "If your mother comes, I will fight with her. If you come, I will definitely not fight with you. I will leave the white snake to you, and I will play the role of the little girl green." Zhang Chen and Xiang Nan both laughed. Zhang Chen said, "Oh, Su Jianmi, when did you become so grand?" Su Jianmi punched him and cursed, "When did I become stingy? Besides, it's Nan. I can't be stingy even if I want to be." Nan Nan, are you right? Xiang Nan smiled and said, that's right, I even learned the drama from you. If you don't let me, I will cry and stop calling you master. Everyone laughed. Xiang Nan pulled Jiang Chen aside, raised his hands towards him and said, Uncle Jiang Chen, please, don't tell my mother that you saw me here when you go back. Jiang Chen said, I know you came here secretly, otherwise, your mother would have told me yesterday that you were in Sanya. Xiang Nan chuckled. Jiang Chen introduced Lu Qing to Xiang Nan. He asked Xiang Nan where he lived yesterday. I slept with Aunt Ji and Mei, Xiang Nan said. Then come with us today, Jiang Chen said. Is it the villa on the top of the mountain? Xiang Nan asked. Jiang Chen was right and shouted to Nan, great. I like that house so much. Then why didn't you call me yesterday? Jiang Chen said, you could have gone to live there yesterday. You can guard against your mother, but she is too verbose, and you also guard against me? Are you afraid that I will betray you? Xiang Nan smiled and said, no, I know my uncle is the best to me. I know. Whenever I come to Sanya in the future, I will definitely tell you that I will go to that villa. Jiang Chen said yes, we are committed. Thank you Daos Hung 123 for the reward. Thank you Wang Huanxiang, Yuingzi, LCS0001, Fang L, Suiyu learns to sing, Freedom reigns, and the sky clears, Shenyao Ren, dedicated to Cao Xiaoman, Form Lo Blue, Book Friends 201808030256355047, Silent Hustle, Qian Dad, Look at the Landscape, Monthly Tickets for Guzio Kyokyo and the Hydrogen Oxide Disinfection Knowledge Bureau. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1598. Jiang Chen and Lu Qing stayed in Sanya for 5 days. Jiang Chen listed out the full year plan for the filming of painting and also wrote the script for 3 episodes of One Person's History of Oil Painting. Jiang Chen was writing and Lu Qing was reading. Lu Qing would immediately point out any changes or questions that needed to be made. After the two discussed it, Jiang Chen would correct it. Lu Qing looked at the revised and printed manuscript and the USB flash drive, and said to Jiang Chen, I didn't expect that the work efficiency would be so high here. It looks like we will come here more often in the future. Lu Qing went back to Beijing directly from Sanya to follow up on the contract. Lu Qing said she would contact Wen Wen. Jiang Chen said yes. Jiang Chen returned to Hangzhou from Sanya. Tan Shahen and Xiao Wu picked him up at Xiaoshan Airport. Jiang Chen felt a little strange. He asked Tan Shahen, why are you here? Are you afraid that I will slip away? That's right, I'm afraid you'll be kidnapped by that little vixen Lu Qing, Tan Shahen said. Jiang Chen scolded, don't talk nonsense. We are pure and pure. This is a purely working relationship. Tan Shahen and Xiao Wu laughed, and Tan Shahen asked, are you ice or jade? Before Jiang Chen could answer, Tan Shahen said, no matter who you are, you belong to me from now on. We will go to Yongcheng together tomorrow. You are not allowed to cheat. Jiang Chen said, if I hadn't gone to Yongcheng with you, I wouldn't have come back today. The sun is shining brightly in Sanya, but it's freezing cold in Hangzhou. I'm a bitch. I won't stay in Sanya for a few more days and run back in a hurry. The troupe is still in Sanya, and there are many people drinking Yelaoju together. Tan Shahen giggled and said, okay, I have wronged you. When we get to Yongcheng, I will drink wine with you at night. Xiao Wu drove the car to Kiashi Academy first and put Tan Shahen down. Tan Shahen asked Jiang Chen, what do you want to eat at night? Can I buy it? Jiang Chen said, just don't eat seafood. I'll vomit when I see seafood these days. By the way, check to see if there are any screws. Let's eat the screws with sauce. Tan Shahen said yes. By the way, Buy some stinky tofu if you have it. Let's eat fried stinky tofu with green peppers. Xiao Wu had already started the car. Zhang Chen pressed down the window and shouted to Tan Shahen. Tan Shahen said without looking back, I understand. Zhang Chen and Xiao Wu returned to the M zone. On the way, the two talked about returning to Yongcheng tomorrow. Zhang Chen and Xiao Wu said, I am not worried about anything else. I am only worried about Huang Linghua coming to see Tan Shahen. Xiao Wu laughed and said, this is all from the old calendar, and Huang Linghua is no longer the Huang Linghua she used to be. What's wrong? Zhang Chen asked. Her father has retired a long time ago, and her husband has been transferred to Fuiyang Industrial Bank as the president. It is said that he is in love with someone below him. He has been clamoring for a divorce from Huang Linghua every day for several years. Now Huang Linghua and Xianglin, my sister-in-law, is almost the same. Very pitiful. How dare she come to see Sister Shahan? Even when she comes back to our village, her natal family avoids people, Xiao Wu said. That's it, I really didn't expect it, Zhang Chen said with a smile. Then, is she in Fuiyang or Yongcheng now? I've gone to Fuiyang a long time ago. By the way, Xiao Wu, you said she went back to her parents' home. Why did she hide from people? Zhang Chen asked. In the early years when her father was in power, she was too arrogant and offended a lot of people. Fortunately, her father was a good person and helped the village a lot. Everyone still remembers his kindness. Otherwise, she might not even be able to join the village. I can't go back, Xiao Wu said. Zhang Chen nodded and said, this person is really different from one another at this moment. It is right to put his tail between his legs at any time. Xiao Wu also nodded and said yes. He said that you were domineering for a while, but how can you be domineering for the rest of your life? The same goes for Xiao Jin. Now he doesn't even dare to go back to Yongcheng and has been hanging out outside. Why? Zhang Chen asked. It's the same, too arrogant. After my accident, he led his people to become the king and hegemon in Yongcheng. But when he got older, those former subordinates, those who got in, got married, and those who got married couldn't be beaten anymore. His reputation too big, those newcomers all like to come to him for trouble, fight him one-on-one, and if they knock him down, they can become famous. Nowadays, fights are all done with knives. We no longer rely on fists and kicks. He has been stabbed several times. People are not allowed in this hospital. Once you go in, you will be less courageous. After thinking about it, it is better to leave Forever City, go work outside and be quiet. Xiao Wu and Zhang Chen said that. Zhang Chen asked Xiao Wu, by the way, why didn't he come to me? Xiao Wu hesitated and said nothing. Zhang Chen asked, what's wrong, Xiao Wu? Xiao Wu sighed and said, actually, Xiao Jin has been to Hangzhou and wanted to come to you, but he was scolded by Lao Yang and left. Lao Yang told him not to come and cause trouble for you. Lao Yang said, Xiao Jin is people are stupid, and they can't do things with their brains. Why didn't you tell me? Zhang Chen asked. Xiao Wu scratched his head. He said that Lao Yang wouldn't let me do it. He asked me not to cause trouble for you. He said, you are no better than before. You are a public figure now and you can't afford any messy and bad things. Call it a good thing. I think it's right if you don't go out and bad things will spread thousands of miles. You damn public figure, Xiao Wu, you call Xiao Jin and ask him to come over. I'll arrange a job for him here to stabilize him. At such an old age, don't run around here and there. It's easier for him to be outside. Something happened, Zhang Chen said. Okay, I'll call him later. Brother Chen, you're right. I'm still worried about him outside. Lao Yang is also right. He is indeed a bit naive, but don't worry, Brother Chen, I will control him, Xiao Wu said excitedly. Zhang Chen smiled and said, it's okay, I will take care of him. How dare he hit me? Don't dare, don't dare, then he definitely doesn't dare, Xiao Wu said. Zhang Chen returned to the office. After a while, Xiao Wu walked in and told him that he had called Xiao Jin. He was very happy and asked when he could come. Zhang Chen said, "You can come tomorrow, but we are going to Yongcheng tomorrow. We may stay for a few days this time to see the sales of Tan Shahan's real estate. In this way, if you ask him to come tomorrow, he will find Zhao Jingjing. I let Zhao Jingjing arrange his work. As for work, let him be Xiaoli's assistant, help with driving, and help with other things. Xiaoli is alone, and I am worried that she will be too busy. The most important thing is that it is too unsafe for a girl to come back from Gongchen Bridge so late every day." Xiao Wu said, "Yes, I will tell him." Tan Shahan and their real estate in Yongcheng were named Jingxiu Yufu. Zhang Chen scolded her for choosing such a tacky name. "Even Jingxiu Tiandi is better than your Jingxiu Yufu." Tan Shahan smiled and said, "You don't understand this, Professor Zhang. People nowadays feel like they are emperors when they have some money. That's why so many people watch emperor dramas and palace battle dramas. Watching them gives you a sense of immersion. It's okay to be obscene. What did we play in the past? The most talented and beautiful women are no longer to their liking. Splendid royal mansion, Zhang Chen, what a great name you hear. With more than 10,000 square meters, you can live in the royal palace. This is in line with the aspirations of the working people who have turned over. Get out," Zhang Chen cursed, while Xiao Wu laughed while driving the car. The opening ceremony was held at 10:30 in the morning. Zhang Chen and the others set off from Hangzhou at 8:30 and arrived in Yongcheng at 10:10 at most, which was just right. After getting in the car, Tan Shahan told Zhang Chen that the secretary and mayor of Yongcheng would attend today's opening ceremony. Zhang Chen was surprised. He said, "Why don't we just sell a house? Why are they here? There is nothing else to do. Ours is the first high-end real estate project in Yongcheng. They still expect us to drive the sluggish real estate market in Yongcheng. How about not coming?" Tan Shahan said, smiling slyly. She said, "Also, aren't you also present? Most of them are here for you. You are now our #1 celebrity in Yongcheng. By the way, Zhang Chen, everything has been arranged. The opening ceremony is over, and they and we will have lunch together, and during the ceremony, you will speak, so think carefully about what you are going to say." "Let me go, Tan Shahan, did you get into the car on purpose to tell me this?" Zhang Chen scolded. "If I had known this, I wouldn't have come. You know that for so many years, I hate talking to people like Yongcheng the most. Dealing with officials." "Yes, I know, so what? Today is the opening of my real estate, why don't you give me this face?" Tan Shahan said. "If you don't want to go, you don't have to go now. Xiao Wu, don't stop the car, you have the guts, let him jump." Xiao Wu said yes. Zhang Chen scolded, "Xiao Wu, where are you standing?" Xiao Wu smiled and said, "Brother Chen, forget it, if something happens to you too, you will never be able to hum Sister Shahan. This was the case in the troupe before, and it is even more so now. Besides, isn't it just to talk? You are the best to talk. It's okay." Tan Shahan laughed. She said, "Yes, Xiao, you are so right. If he wants to escape when he gets there, Xiao, please help me catch him." Xiao Wu said, "Yes, but there's no need. After all, Brother Chen, he never causes trouble in public and doesn't show respect to others. Even Zhao's Hegang plotted against him and put him on stage. He couldn't do anything about it, let alone you." Tan Shahan's stomach hurt from laughing. She said, "Yes, Zhang Chen, you even gave Zhao's Hegang face, how could you not give me face? Think about it quickly, think about what you are going to say." "I just said, Hu Hansen is back again." Only Hu Hansen can sell the house for more than 10,000 yuan. Jiang Chen glared at Tan Shahen and said. Tan Shahen said okay, just say so. Jiang Chen and the others arrived at Tan Shahen's splendid imperial mansion at 10 o'clock. After getting off the car, Jiang Chen saw Su Wenhui's junior sister and a large group of reporters from provincial and municipal TV stations and newspapers standing in the parking lot. When they arrived, Jiang Chen knew that they must be Su Wenhui's friends, and Su Wenhui arranged for them to come over to support him. As soon as the reporters saw Jiang Chen and Tan Shahen getting out of the car, they gathered around to take photos and videos. Su Wenhui's junior sister and Jiang Chen said, "Brother Jiang, I happened to meet you today. Please arrange an exclusive interview with me." Jiang Chen quickly waved his hand and refused. The junior sister said to Tan Shahen with a bitter face, "Sister Zhen, please help me." Tan Shahen said, "While he is in the office, kill him and pester him. If he doesn't accept you, he won't leave. He is thin-skinned and can't refuse. He will definitely accept your interview." Jiang Chen glared at Tan Shahen, and the junior sister giggled and said, "I understand, thank you Sister Zhen. Brother Jiang, I can definitely win over you." "That's right, eat him and there won't even be any residue left." Tan Shahen added fuel to the fire. Walking into the sales department of Tan Shahen and her splendid imperial mansion, everyone inside was making final preparations. Jiang Chen saw that they had prepared the building of their splendid imperial mansion for the guests and reporters who came today. Book, and a copy of The Pearl on the Golden Tourism Line Yongcheng compiled by the Yongcheng city government. Jiang Chen opened it and was shocked. He saw a photo of himself in The Pearl of the Golden Travel Line, Yongcheng, and he was listed in the Yongcheng celebrities. Jiang Chen and Tan Shahen said, "When I went there, they printed me on this without even asking me." Tan Shahen rolled her eyes at him, "Is there any need to ask you this? I think you should feel that this is your honor. Did you see that I put you together with Chen Shuozhen? He is the first person in Chinese history." "Empress." "Bullshit, who is the first female emperor in Chinese history? Who recognizes her? A crazy rural woman, just talking nonsense when she is crazy, no different from a dancing master." Jiang Chen laughed as he spoke, "By the way, Tan Shahen, I think you're getting there soon. You've already entered the palace. Get out." Tan Shahen kicked him. "Thank you for the reward for being third from top to bottom, and having two fishes one above the other at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. Thank you book friends 201904300640588854, 201703241750235554, 201701052133115338, Zizhe Wei Isa 99999, 48 years old, administrator of the third floor of the library, Dachuan, Lulu 6717 P11, no future, just remember the original intention, I am coward, take a leisurely reading, book friend 164 24080024825, 201705171925251872, 2017112108323716, Zipanjiang 1, very attentive 333, Wang Huanxiang, Dugan Xiaopang, why can't I change my name, book friend 0910261531555820, 1611232233133496. Earthling Wizard, Engross 11, Qing book friend 201906121452588714, 1610250923284009, 12011102207691, 1503200805482242, monthly tickets for Josie, Lao Yu, Purple Hao, Shi Yitan, Happy Lu Hong, and Jinwu Lanji. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. The Pentium era, south to north. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1599. The opening ceremony of Jingxiu Yufu attracted a lot of people. The selling price of 10,800 square meters shocked all the people in Yongcheng, and then aroused their curiosity. Everyone wanted to take a look. What does a house with more than 10,000 square meters look like? Not only did many people from Yongcheng County come over to see it, but many business owners from the town below also drove their own cars and drove dozens of miles to come here. When they arrived here, not only the people who came to watch the excitement, but also the city leaders who came to attend the ribbon-cutting ceremony were also shocked. When they saw the opening ceremony of this building, even the provincial TV station and the city TV station came to report it. In Yongcheng, apart from the annual Xiananjiang Summer Art Festival and the provincial TV station, what other activities can we see them in? Even if the provincial TV station occasionally appears one or two pieces of news about Yongcheng, it is also sent by Yongcheng TV station. You must know that Yongcheng is only a county-level city. There are 89 county-level administrative districts like theirs in Zhejiang, and they are only one of the 89. If there are any activities in the city, Yongcheng TV station will send people to carry the machine and run around. Even Hangcheng TV station rarely comes. Today not only provincial and municipal TV stations came, but also reporters from Zhejiang newspaper, Hangzhou News, Qianzhong Evening News and Metropolis Express. This made the leaders who came to attend the opening ceremony suddenly feel that this event is important. Stand up. This is often the case. The level of the media participating in the report determines the importance of the event. You must know that the media itself also has levels. There are also particularities about what kind of leaders should be matched with what level of media to report. The opening ceremony went on time. First, Tan Shuhen expressed her gratitude to the leaders and guests, then the leaders spoke respectively, and finally Zhang Chen spoke. Then the ribbon cutting began. The secretary, the mayor, Zhang Chen, and Tan Shuhen clicked their 4 scissors together. Firecrackers and fireworks went off, announcing the end of the opening ceremony. The luncheon was held at the only hotel in Yongcheng that claimed to be a 4-star hotel, the Huanglong Moon Bay Hotel. The owner of this hotel was a local real estate developer in Yongcheng. However, during the financial crisis, if he couldn't go down, he had already escaped. Fortunately, the hotel was originally entrusted to the Huanglong Hotel in Hangzhou to manage it, so the door was still open. Zhang Chen and others also stayed in this hotel. During the luncheon, Zhang Chen naturally became the center of everyone's attention. There was only one person in Yongcheng who could be on CCTV. Zhang Chen was actually a regular guest on CCTV. Coupled with his online videos, it is impossible not to become the focus of leaders' attention. During the banquet, the secretary of Yongcheng also solemnly invited Zhang Chen to host and narrate a feature film to be shot by the city to promote Yongcheng. Zhang Chen quickly said, No, I can't even speak Mandarin well, how can I do this? The mayor immediately said, Why not, Professor Zhang, your Yongcheng accent Mandarin has now become a symbol, just like Yi Zongtian's shrill voice, everyone will know it is you who we want, that's the effect. Zhang Chen smiled and said, The leader is scolding me, right? Doesn't he speak my Mandarin well? It's not scolding you, it's praising you, the secretary said. What's the use of speaking Mandarin? The announcers in our radio and television stations speak Mandarin well, but what's the use? Who knows them? The mayor was right, Professor Zhang, you are now our business card in Yongcheng. You must help your hometown with this favor. Zhang Chen really couldn't shirk it, so he said okay, I'll do my best. When asked about Zhang Chen's other recent activities, Zhang Chen hadn't said anything yet. Tan Shuhen immediately answered for him, saying that he and Lu Qinchin's daughter were co-producing a new program, which would be available on CCTV soon. Zhang Chen kicked Tan Shuhen under the table. Lu Qinchin's daughter, the secretary asked. It turns out we are from Hangzhou. Tan Shahen nodded and said yes. The atmosphere in the box became more harmonious. After the luncheon, Zhang Chen and Tan Shahen went upstairs. In the elevator, Zhang Chen scolded, Tan Shahen, do you have to sell me to be willing to sell me? Tan Shahen smiled and said, you are already a business card in Yongcheng. Didn't you see that there are many people with a long list of titles on their business cards? Why don't I introduce you grandly? Zhang Chen glared at her and said, don't you know that anyone with more than 3 titles on a business card is a liar? After drinking a little too much wine at noon, Zhang Chen returned to the room, fell on the bed and fell asleep. When he woke up, it was getting dark outside. Zhang Chen looked at his watch. It was almost 5 o'clock. He walked into the bathroom, washed his face, walked out of the room, walked to the door of Tan Shahen's room opposite, and rang the doorbell ding dong ding dong. The door opened and it was Xiao Wu. Zhang Chen walked in. He saw Tan Shahen sitting there with a serious expression. Zhang Chen asked, how is the situation at the sales office? Tan Shahen stretched out her right thumb and index finger, circled them into a 0, and gestured towards Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen laughed. Ha! Why are you gloating? Tan Shahen asked angrily. The whole building has been full of people all afternoon. In the sales office, there is also an endless stream of people looking at the houses. The sales staff are all hoarse, but let alone selling houses. Not even a single person made a reservation. It's just what I expected, Zhang Chen said with a smile. Yongcheng is no better than Hangzhou. You are a new thing that scares everyone at first. Why don't you give people a buffer period to let them recover? Don't worry, I'll look up at the stars and count on my fingers. Within 3 days, someone should buy a house. What if no one buys it? Tan Shahen asked. No, there must be, Tan Shahen. Or let's make a bet. Whoever loses will pay for 3 sets of your splendid imperial mansion houses, Zhang Chen said. Okay, I'll bet with you, Tan Shahen said angrily. Zhang Chen laughed and asked, Tan Shahen, are you running out of brains? What's wrong with me? Tan Shahen asked. You definitely lost this bet, Zhang Chen said with a smile. Why? If I buy 1 apartment tomorrow, won't you lose? Zhang Chen said with a smile. I will get 3 more apartments from you. I spent the price of 1 apartment. With 4 apartments, I can get 3001 square meters sold again. Tan Shahen also laughed and cursed, rogue. You are a scoundrel, don't you dare to gamble. Zhang Chen laughed playfully, but I am telling you the truth, don't worry, you really need to wait. Okay, Tan Shahen sighed, anyway, there is nothing we can do if we wait. At worst, I will make a mistake in judgment once. Let's go eat spicy duck feed. We haven't eaten for a long time. Zhang Chen clapped his hands and said. I won't go. Tan Shahen shook her head, I have already booked a box downstairs. At 6 o'clock, I will treat you tonight, and both of you will be present. Who are you inviting? Zhang Chen asked. Ding Begu. I'm going, Zhang Chen shouted, I don't want to eat with him. Xiao Wu looked at Tan Shahen and laughed, and Tan Shahen also laughed. Zhang Chen was puzzled by their laughter. He asked Xiao Wu, did she lie to me? I'm not lying to you, but I told Sister Shahen that after you find out, you will definitely react like this, Xiao Wu said with a smile. Zhang Chen said yes, absolutely, there would be no other reaction. Zhang Chen, are you naive? How much hatred do you have against Ding Begu? To you, does he have the hatred of killing his father or the hatred of taking his wife? How many years has it been? Do you remember this trivial thing? Tan Shahen scolded. What a trivial matter, I had the intention of strangling him to death. Likewise, he also wants to strangle me to death. I will definitely not eat this meal, Zhang Chen said. Zhang Chen, can you distinguish between public and private matters? What's the business relationship between me and him? What's the relationship between me and him privately? Zhang Chen asked. Okay, then I'll tell you this childish thing, Tan Shahen said. Ding Begu is now the director of the Yongcheng Cultural Bureau. Zhang Chen, do you still remember the fund we established for the Wu opera troupe? Remember, it's none of his business, the money is not for him, Zhang Chen said. Yes, the money was not given to him, but now, the superiors have requested that the Wu opera troupe be restructured. Ding Begu is in charge of this matter, Tan Shahen said. What do you mean? Zhang Chen asked. According to the requirements of the Propaganda Department of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, the Ministry of Culture and the province, state-owned theatrical performance troupes at the county and district levels must be restructured from institutions with fixed financial allocations to state-owned cultural enterprises. The Provincial Department of Culture hopes to transform Yongcheng into as a pilot project. Wu Opera Troupe went a step further in restructuring and transformed into a cultural enterprise that combines state-owned and private operations. They know the existence of our fund and hope that our two companies can participate in the restructuring. If the restructuring of Yongcheng Wu Opera Troupe can be successful, then all county and district level theatrical performance troupes in the province will follow this model. Go ahead, Ding Begu will come later, just to talk to us about this matter. Tell me, Zhang Chen, does it have anything to do with you? Zhang Chen was stunned by Tan Shahen's question. Tan Shahen laughed and said, Zhang Chen, aren't you afraid of everything? Why, are you even afraid of Ding Begu today? I'm afraid of him, Zhang Chen cursed. He is not a ball, he is Su Jianmi's husband, Tan Shahen said with a smile. If you are not afraid of him, then why does he dare to come to meet you, but you don't dare to meet him? See you when you see me, whoever is afraid of you, Zhang Chen said angrily. Tan Shahen said, yes, we are not afraid. He is Su Jianmi's husband, just like Xiang Xiang's husband. He is also looking for a way out for the Wu opera troupe. Let's go and listen to what he has to say. Zhang Chen, just because I haven't sold a house today, take pity on me and give me some face and treat him better, okay? Tan Shahen clasped her hands and bowed to Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen was amused by her. Thank you for the monthly votes of conceited, for mellow blue, look at the landscape, Qian dad, old D Bowie, attract me orbit, $dollar wandering hashtag at, toad dreaming of flying, book friends 2020091116010975. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1600. Zhang Chen was a little surprised to see Ding Begu again after not seeing him for so many years. Not only does Ding Begu not look older, he actually looks younger than before. He has gained weight, his skin has become whiter, and his eyebrows have relaxed. It turns out that Ding Begu has a gloomy look on his face. Looking at him, he always feels that he is like a conspirator, he is thinking about something all day long, and now he is much more cheerful. When Ding Begu held Zhang Chen's hand and said, "Hello, Zhang Chen, long time no see," Zhang Chen was surprised again. Even Ding Begu's voice had changed. His accent was gone, and now he spoke with energy. It seems that this power is a man's aphrodisiac, and it is not fake at all. At least in Ding Begu, it is clearly reflected. Ding Begu is now the director of the Cultural Bureau. To be precise, this Cultural Bureau has been expanded. The original Radio, Film, and Television Bureau, Tourism Bureau and Sports Committee have been merged into one. It is called the Culture, Tourism, and Sports Bureau. It has more than doubled, and the number of units under its jurisdiction has also increased a lot. No wonder Ding Begu's face looks a little more proud. Ding Begu held Zhang Chen's hand and kept shaking it. He said, "Our Wu opera troupe is really a place for talents. Who would have thought that Jo Hang would not only produce real estate tycoons like Tan Shahen, but also it is really unexpected to have such a nationally famous figure like Zhang Chen." Zhang Chen quickly said, "Where is the leader? I didn't expect that the leader is getting younger and younger now. If I meet him on the street, I won't dare to recognize him. It's to bear my grudge. Don't bother admitting it. You, Zhang Chen, are now the guest of the secretary and mayor. How dare I, the director of a small Qingshui Yamen, dare to reach such a high level?" Ding Begu actually laughed at himself, which surprised Zhang Chen again. Zhang Chen laughed and said, "What grudge do I have against the leader? It's just that I was young and ignorant and was a thorn in the side. I offended the leader. Everywhere, it's just a little conflict at work." Ding Begu said, "In the past few years, you, Zhang Chen, have given a lot of support to our troupe, including the troupe being able to perform in Sanya. Jianmei told me, everyone under your command takes great care of them, saying that it was you who told them, so originally, I should have come to say thank you long ago." Ding Begu laughed as he spoke. He raised his right hand, patted his face lightly and said, "No, it's not because I can't pull off this old face." Zhang Chen, Tan Shahen, and Xiao Wu both laughed. Zhang Chen felt a little strange in his heart. He didn't know where this Ding Begu got any treasure book from. It was no wonder that he had developed the ability to deal with people with ease. He was able to stand out when several bureau-level units merged and became the director of this overall situation. The embarrassing situation that was expected to arise was easily resolved by Ding Begu's few words. Moreover, Ding Begu kept mentioning Su Jianmei intentionally or unintentionally, which made Zhang Chen and the others immediately feel at ease. He almost forgot his identity as director and thought of the identity of his family members of the troupe. Tan Shahen also accompanied Ding Begu and Zhang Chen to drink. Only Xiao Wu drank drinks. Ding Begu said, "Xiao Wu, do you know that if you don't drink, your life will lose a lot of fun?" Xiao Wu smiled and said, "If I drink it, my life will be more painful." Ding Begu was stunned for a moment, then laughed, and said, "If it's well said, then there's no need to force it." After a few drinks, everyone started talking about the theater troupe's restructuring. Tan Shahen asked Ding Begu, "What is the plan for the theater troupe's restructuring this time?" Ding Begu told them that the overall goal is to change the original public institution into an enterprise and establish a new Yongchen Wu Opera Troupe Performance Co., Limited. Using this new bottle, the old Yongchen Wu Opera Troupe will be all the wine is in it. After the restructuring, the troupe has implemented corporate management and is responsible for its own profits and losses. However, the government is not completely hands-off. It will still provide policy support and financial rewards. If you don't mind this, do you want to know more about it? Ding Begu asked. Tan Shahen nodded and said yes. Ding Begu said, "To sum up, there are just a few things. First, after the company is transferred, during the industrial and commercial registration, the municipal finance will inject capital in proportion. The second is to invest in the theater troupe's existing assets, from houses and land to costumes, props and lighting. For audio, etc., special agencies will be organized to conduct inventory, evaluation, and audit. After approval by the finance and state-owned assets departments, they will be owned by the company. At the same time, the troupe's dormitory and office buildings and rehearsal halls will be renovated and renovated. The new company will have a new look and a new atmosphere. The costs will be borne by the municipal finance. At the same time, the municipal development and reform and finance departments will construct the company's future venues. Be incorporated into social undertakings development plans, and continue to intensify transformation efforts. Third, after the transformation, the original business expenses and special funds will be increased by 300,000 yuan per year on the basis of the 400,000 yuan at the time of the transformation. The municipal finance will allocate the enterprise. This fund will increase year by year with the growth of local financial revenue. At the same time, according to the original business expenses will be allocated on a per capita basis based on the adjustment and utilization of enterprise personnel. Fourth, the Housing Provident Fund and housing subsidies owed by the original staff of the theater troupe will be paid by the municipal finance. The Housing Provident Fund and housing subsidies of the staff after the transformation will continue to be allocated by the municipal finance in the budget. The last one, which is the fifth one, after the restructuring, the municipal finance will continue to provide support in terms of loan interest discounts and subsidies, and a reward of 1,500 yuan per performance will be provided in lieu of subsidies. That's the main content. Of course, if you have any other requests, you can put them forward. After Tan Shahan thought for a while, she said, the most difficult thing about the theater troupe's restructuring is the placement of personnel, especially those who were originally employed in the business establishment. Suddenly turning them into corporate personnel is a bit difficult to do, and people may not be able to do it. Except. Ding Begu nodded and said, of course. If that were the case, I wouldn't be able to do my wife's job. If Su Jianmei doesn't quarrel with me every day, how can I still live my life? Zhang Chen and the three of them all laughed. We have also considered this. All members of the troupe, including the problems left over from history, will solve them at once, this time according to the old methods for old people and new methods for newcomers. Ding Begu said, looking at Zhang Chen and Xiao Wu and smiling. Zhang Chen was surprised. He asked, what other historical issues are there left in the troupe? Ding Begu said, you and Xiao Wu are just issues left over from history. People like you have left the troupe, but their relationship is unclear and has never been concluded. Including Lu Ligan and Xiao Jian, there are a total of 8. Well, if the troupe no longer exists, we can't continue to be so unclear. Zhang Chen suddenly realized, and then he understood that their human relations were still in the troupe, and even his own career establishment was still there. Why did the Cultural Affairs Bureau and the troupe deal with it like this? Zhang Chen understood, and he cursed. It turns out that they have been eating our head fees. Ding Begu laughed and said, this was decided by our collective research at that time. The reason why Zhang Chen's business establishment in the troupe has been maintained is because the capitation fee, business funds, and subsidies from the Provincial Department of Culture have always been allocated to their business based on the number of people. The establishment will continue to be maintained, and this part of the funds will be allocated to the Yongcheng Cultural Bureau's account on time every year. They are equivalent to having this extra money. If they were all treated as voluntarily resigning, the number of people would be reduced, and the money would be gone. For a Qingshui Yamen like the Cultural Bureau, it would be a very uneconomical thing. But now, the entire troupe has to be reorganized, and everyone has to make arrangements. Zhang Chen and the others also have to deal with it, and this has become a problem left over from history. Ding Begu smiled and said, anyway, you Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan are not short of money. Xiao Wu Ziajin and the others are also supported by people in the society. They might as well make some contributions to our cultural undertakings in Yongcheng. Zhang Chen and the others laughed. Ding Begu saw Tan Shahan looking at him, and he quickly said, Tan Shahan, you don't count. You are no longer a member of the troupe. You have been officially transferred out of the troupe. Tan Shahan said, I know, I just want to know how to arrange the existing people in the troupe. The current people in the troupe are divided into two parts. One part is the technical staff who are being compiled by the Human Resources Department, which is the establishment of the enterprise, and the other part is like Xiang's husband and the others, who are originally workers under the labor contract system. Ding Baigo said, there should be 4 types of people, including those like Zhang Chen and others who have resigned, and there are also 3 surviving families of old artists who need to be arranged. Ding Begu picked up the wine glass and clinked it with Zhang Chen and Tan Shahen. After taking a sip of wine, he said, "As for the placement of personnel, as I said before, in accordance with the principle of old methods for the elderly, new methods for the newcomers, the personnel of the public establishment who meet the conditions for early retirement should go through the early retirement procedures. After retirement, they can continue to be re-employed by the company, like Teacher Wu and Teacher Su are like that. Staff from other undertakings will be transferred to the Municipal Cultural Center to establish a Yongcheng City Intangible Cultural Heritage Protection Center to specialize in the excavation and research of the Sanjiangkao 9 surnames fisherman's wedding. This part of the staff will be posted at the Cultural Center, but will be unified under the management of Yongcheng Wu Opera Troupe Performance Co., Limited and participate in performances." "That's okay," Tan Shahen said. "This means that their business status has not changed, and everyone should be able to accept this." Ding Begu continued, "Xiang's husband and the others were originally workers under a labor contract. The processing of this part is relatively simple, that is, they will be rehired by the new company. What we want to help them solve is the 5 insurances and 1 housing fund they originally owed. The original unpaid part of the unit shall be made up by the municipal finance with special funds, and the part owed by the individual shall be made up by the individual himself. After the company is established, these people will continue to pay 5 social insurances and 1 fund by the company, and after retirement, they will be paid according to the company's retirement salary standards. Besides, Zhang Chen and others who have resigned will be given a one-time financial compensation. The compensation standard is based on the actual working years. For every 1 year, a compensation equivalent to 1 month's average salary of the previous year will be paid. If it is less than 1 year, the compensation will be paid on a 1-year basis, and this part of the compensation will be paid out of the troupe's financial fixed subsidy funds." "I don't want it. Why do I want this money?" When Zhang Chen heard this, he quickly said, and Xiao Wu also said, "I don't want it either. I haven't even taken the class yet. How can I be embarrassed to take this money?" Ding Begu said, "Yes, if you are upright, then take this money and donate it to the theater troupe. Don't give it in vain. If you don't give it, no one will say good things to you." Tan Shahen is right. The last group of people are the surviving families of the 3 deceased old artists. They will be handed over to the city's finance to continue to support them, Ding Begu and Tan Shahen said. Tan Shahen nodded. "Thank you to the 48-year-old Xiao Sheng, the bearded swordsman from the northwest, and the book friend 1612051930467444 for the reward. Thank you Xiao Shen Nian Fang 48, 0HJKLG, Dragon, Hydrogen Oxide Disinfection Knowledge Bureau, SF Master, Chair in the World, Huan Yu Cold Eyes, Happy Lu Hong, Crush Killer VIP, Jackie Learning to Sing, 999 Little Stupid Cow 999, Dreams Fly Toad, Piao Ling Yi May Fly, Zongkai 727, Dong Long Dong, Free Rain and Clear Sky, Hoo, Northwest Swordsman Bearded, Hurricane 0669, Lao Chen Tang, Book Friends 2020621133102536, 202004162146453553, Tamagotchi, Frivolous, Salty Fish Sewer, Jinwuo. Lanji, Xiao Hujuan Sa, My Heart Will Fall for You, Robin Granite, Flying Bat Kgen, and, How, UN11, Happy Xiaofen number 8, Cup Guy API, Tianying 1978, Lindu's Hifu, No Land to Plant, The Name of the Dragon is Relatively Long, Qian Dad, Wave Bird, Look at the Landscape, Book Friends 16120193046744, 20200912113520720727, Reader 11963189776326411024's monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1601. Ding Begu, Tan Shehen, and Zhang Chen said that they hope to establish the newly established Yongchengwu Opera Troupe Performance Co., Limited with a registered capital of 5 million yuan and a shareholding ratio of 4:6, that is, Yongcheng Cultural Tourism institutions affiliated with the Sports Bureau hold 40% of the shares, while Tan Shehen and Zhang Chen hold 60% of the shares, which is 3 million. This small amount of money is of course not a problem for Tan Shehen and Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen and Tan Shehen said, "Why does a theater troupe need so many mothers-in-law? You can only fund the 60%. I will still invest every year. Direct sponsorship is enough, no equity participation is required." Tan Shehen, "I know you have returned to Yongcheng, but I still have a piece of fat left for you." Ding Begu said, "This is what Su Jianmei has repeatedly told me to leave for you." "What kind of fat?" Tan Shehen asked. "The land of Yongcheng Theater is 18.25 acres," Ding Begu said. When Ding Begu said this, everyone present was surprised. Yongcheng Theater is at the head of the cultural square, and it is also the core area of Yongcheng's busiest commercial street. On its right side is Yongcheng No. 1 department store. On the left side of the store is the ICBC Culture Plaza branch, where Huang Linghua used to be the director. Directly ahead is the cultural square, on the right is the Yongcheng food store building, and on the left is the Yongcheng supply and marketing building. The area of Yongcheng Cinema is not small. In the middle of the street is a large iron gate. To the left of the iron gate is the mall of the theater, and to the right is the ticket office. Entering through the iron gate is a courtyard with flower beds and 2 long rows of windows on both sides, with movie posters or stills posted inside. At the end of the yard is a long row of steps. Going up the steps is the building of Yongcheng Theater. The 5 characters Yongcheng Theater were inscribed by Shamengai. In the mid-1970s, when Yongcheng Theater was built, it was Zhejiang Theater, the largest theater in the western region. To the right of the theater building, there is an open space connected to the courtyard. This open space goes deep into the open space. At the end, behind the theater building, there is a 4-story building, which is the guest house of the theater. The entire theater is in Yongcheng, which can be said to be a golden center in a prime location. Ding Begu said that it is a piece of fat, and he is right. Tan Shehen asked, "This land does not need to go through the land acquisition and storage center?" "Of course," Ding Begu said with a smile, "but I have set conditions that are tailor-made for you. I have linked this land to the transformation of the theater troupe. The companies that request the auction must be participating theater troupes. This condition is high-sounding and for the sake of the theater troupe's future development. No one can give a reason to oppose it. If anyone objects, I will give him the task of transforming the troupe and see what he can do." Ding Begu laughed. In Yongcheng, who doesn't know how difficult it is to transform a theater troupe? Who dares to get involved in this matter? Although there are also real estate companies from Hangzhou who want to participate in the theater troupe's restructuring because they are interested in this land. They probably think that 3 million is not much, but we also have conditions for choosing which company to participate in the theater troupe's restructuring. Yes, of course we have to be responsible for the troupe and all the troupe members. It is impossible for dogs and cats to participate. In terms of conditions, who can be better than you two? You are not just supporting the troupe today, but have always supported it. Of course, we are most assured when we hand over the troupe to you. This is from our bureau to the troupe. There is a consensus. How about it, Tan Shehen? I said this land is tailor-made for you, is that right? Ding Begu asked, and both Tan Shehen and Zhang Chen laughed. After Tan Shehen and the others realized that they had to leave Hangzhou and develop downwards, Other real estate companies in Hangzhou felt strange why Jinxia Group, which had been the most popular in the past, could not even see anyone at the land auction in Hangzhou. Not exposed anymore? Everyone began to ask, what is Splendid China doing now? Although they know that Splendid China has made a lot of money by deploying in Hainan, they are not putting all their business focus in Hainan, right? After everyone inquired through various channels, they discovered that Tan Shahen and the others had already established their presence in the counties below Zhejiang. Only then did other real estate developers in Hangzhou begin to wake up and understand the mystery. Everyone left Hangzhou with Splendid China. It is developing downward and outward, and now more than a year has passed, and the counties below have also begun to bring heat. Ding Begu said that there are other real estate companies from Hangzhou that are interested in this land. He is really not lying. For real estate companies, participating in the theater troupe's restructuring and paying 3 million is nothing. Even if these 1 million, so what if you throw it into the water? But for Ding Begu, Yongcheng Culture, Broadcasting, Tourism and Sports Bureau and Yongcheng City Government, the theater troupe's restructuring is only the first step. The theater troupe will continue to develop. That is the key. They don't want to find a messy partner. As a result, the first year of the theater's restructuring was the beginning of the theater's disaster. They are the ones who come out to wipe their butts in the end, and they don't want to suffer this kind of pain. Tan Shahen and Zhang Chen, they are capable and have real feelings for the troupe. When the troupe is handed over to them, everyone in Yongcheng City is optimistic about it, including all the employees in the troupe. They are also assured that this is how the restructuring can be achieved. Guaranteed to continue smoothly. This would be a good start. It is said that there is no other company that can compete with Tan Shahen, Zhang Chen, and others in participating in the theater troupe's restructuring. Other companies are excluded from the theater troupe's restructuring, and the land of Yongcheng Theater is related to the theater troupe's restructuring. Ding Begu was right, that meant it was assigned to Tan Shahen. Zhang Chen thought for a while, and then he said to Tan Shahen and Ding Begu, why don't we use this land and simply raise a chicken that can lay eggs for the troupe, so that we can solve the troupe's predicament once and for all? Tan Shahen and Ding Begu both looked at him, and Ding Begu asked, how to do it? Zhang Chen said, Tan Shahen personally contributed 3 million to participate in the theater troupe's restructuring. After the theater troupe's successful restructuring, the land of the theater will be directly given to the Yongcheng Wu Opera Troupe Performance Co., Limited. I think this place is suitable for building a 4-story building. A star-rated hotel is most suitable. The podium below the hotel can be used as a shopping mall and the theater can also be retained. In this way, the troupe not only has its own new rehearsal hall and fixed performance venue, hotel, and shopping mall, but even if it does not operate it itself and rents it out to others, it will also have a considerable income every year to support the troupe, even if it is to hold student classes. There is no problem with funding for arranging new plays. Doesn't this give the troupe a hen that can lay eggs? As Zhang Chen spoke, Ding Begu and Tan Shahen's eyes lit up. They both thought Zhang Chen's idea was a good one. Ding Begu said, but if this happens, the land will become designated for the theater troupe. In this case, buying the land and building a hotel will cost a lot of money. Tan Shahen stopped talking. Zhang Chen knew that Ding Begu's words hit the mark. Tan Shahen was rich, but all her money was in Splendid China stocks, and the stocks were pledged to Miss Cai. If Splendid China was allowed to come and participate in the restructuring of the theater troupe and then build this hotel, of course, there is no problem at all. Splendid China has money. But for Tan Shahen to participate in the restructuring of the theater company, she personally has a few million to 20 million, but 10 to 20 million may be enough to buy this land, but it will not build a 4-star hotel. Zhang Chen and Tan Shahen said, it doesn't matter. You have to finish the restructuring of the theater troupe first. As for the money to buy land and build a hotel later, if you go public as a listed company and it is inconvenient to move the funds, I can lend it to your theater troupe. In this way, the whole game will be settled, just leave and live. If this is the case, I will report to the municipal party committee and government immediately tomorrow. Ding Begu also became excited. He said, isn't our theater troops restructuring a pilot project? Zhang Chen's approach is right. This is the solution to the theater troops problem once and for all. Solution to the problem. This movie theater itself needs to be restructured. Why can't it be merged together? According to Zhang Chen's plan, the movie theater will still be retained. Then the problem of the future of the movie theater staff has also been solved. If the movie theater and Wu opera troupe are tied together, can we directly use the land for the theater as a contribution from our government? If so, the land will not even need to go through the bidding, auction, and listing procedures. Yes, if that's the case, that would be best, Zhang Chen said. In this way, when I go back later, I will sort out a plan and go to the city tomorrow to report to the Yongcheng Wu Opera Troupe's Enterprise Transformation Leading Group. Minister Pan from the Propaganda Department is the team leader, and Vice Mayor Xu is the deputy team leader. I am the office director, Ding Begu said, but Zhang Chen, I thought about it and you still need to participate in this restructuring plan. Both Zhang Chen and Tan Shehen understood that Ding Begu wanted to take advantage of Zhang Chen's fame. It is true that having Zhang Chen here and using his name will be beneficial to the future development of the troupe. Zhang Chen said, I will not be involved in the specific management, but I can hold the title of consultant to the theater troupe. Ding Begu smiled and said, that's okay, then Zhen Zhen, is that what we've decided? Tan Shehen said yes. Great, if this plan works, the theater troupe will become a hot potato, Ding Begu said with a smile. The people in the theater troupe will be extremely happy if they know about it. The next day, for Tan Shehen, she was both happy and worried. The most worrying thing was that their splendid imperial mansion continued yesterday's record of 0 transactions. There is still an endless stream of people coming to view the house. Tan Shehen was too embarrassed to stay in the sales department, so she simply went back to the hotel. Tan Shehen faced Zhang Chen with a grimace. Zhang Chen smiled and said, why are you so anxious? I counted it as 3 days, and today is only the 2nd day. What made Tan Shehen happy was that at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Ding Begu went directly to the Moonbay Hotel to find Tan Shehen and Zhang Chen. Ding Begu told them that our Enterprise Transformation Leading Group held an emergency meeting and reported to the secretary and mayor. The matter was settled and we would proceed according to the plan we mentioned last night. Yongcheng Cinema Theater and the restructuring of the Yongcheng Wu Opera Troupe is bundled together. In this way, all the assets of the Yongcheng Theater and the Wu Opera Troupe are also transferred to the new company. But Zhang Chen, you must participate in the transformation of the 2 units this time. You and Tan Shehen will each hold 30% of the shares, Ding Begu said. This is the secretary's suggestion. Tan Shehen looked at Zhang Chen and said with a smile, you still don't understand, I am trying to use your dog's head to make this transformation a success. Ding Begu said, that's what it meant. Zhang Chen had to agree even if he didn't agree, so he said okay. Thank you for the reward even though I didn't know anyone who asked me, but I caught 2 fishes at one end and at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. Thank you for Huaxin Yongxiao, Feng Palang 26, I don't know anyone who asks, Zizhewu, Gongzimayan Z, Brokeback Mountain, Dong Long Dong, Day by Day Flipping Books, Dal Tin Soldier, Humorous Tribe, ranked 3rd from top to bottom, forgot the password and come here again, take a look at the landscape, book friend 201711210832371666 monthly pass. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone.